experiences and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trockton, and we are First Bank.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Welcome to the Zaxby's pregame show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Zaxby's pregame show here in Cameron, North Carolina, at Dawn, one of my favorite all-time stadiums to call a ball game, Union Pines Will Hoyt Stadium here on Bobby Purvis Field. Now, for all of our viewers at home, many, many moons ago, I was in the school system. I was a football coach, and then I was an athletic director for a very short amount of time. And Bobby Purvis was not only a mentor, but a true guider for my career before I left. So it's really cool to be back here. This is the best stadium in the country, I think. I really do, Don.
I agree. It's not only a great stadium and it has a great atmosphere, but also it has wonderful, tremendous fan support. So I also agree with you. And you say many, many moons ago, but, brother, it just seems like yesterday.
It just seems like yesterday.
Just yesterday.
All right, so tonight we're watching our Union Pines Vikings take on the Randleman Tigers out of Randleman, North Carolina. Randleman coming in a strong 2A contender this year in the state of North Carolina, currently ranked number 20, and coming in at 3-0 with 3 big wins. Last week over Cedar Ridge, I believe it was 56-0. So a pretty big win over a pretty decent program there at Cedar Ridge. Some key players to watch tonight for the Randleman Tigers. Number 1, he's the guy, Tyshawn Goldston. He is the man that everyone is talking about. When I was doing some scouting earlier today and talking to some of the coaches, this kid has real potential to play on Saturdays. And not Saturdays that no one can see, Saturday games that are broadcasted. So number 1, Tyshawn Goldston, he's a wide receiver and a free safety, definitely one to watch tonight. Also their quarterback, number 17, John Kirkpatrick. He's a sophomore. He's a tall kid, though, and he is a gunslinger. I got here early tonight getting to watch some of the warm-ups. I want to specifically watch this kid, see how he can throw the ball, and he can throw a dime now. So with a big 6'4" target of Tyshawn Goldston and a kid who can throw the ball, it could be a really interesting night with that air raid offense.
It's going to be really interesting, to say the least. When you look at Union Pines, they are now 1-2 on the season. Lost a tough one at Northwood in Pittsburgh on week 2. Last week was another difficult game for them as well, but they're coming in here and they're looking to prove a point tonight against Randleman. Randleman on paper, Nate, is obviously the better squad, the better team, more talented, more gifted as it stands to their physical, their physicality. But to look at Union Pines tonight, you got to look at, first of all, their quarterback, Goswick. He really needs to take care of the football. He needs to be careful on his route passes. He needs to, if he's going to tuck it and run, he needs to tuck it and run and protect that football. There were 8 turnovers in the first game here a few weeks ago against Triton, and so he's got to certainly protect the ball. But the guy to watch is Caleb Milton. Number 4, Caleb Milton. He has to have a strong night tonight. He needs to have at least 150 yards plus rushing tonight for Union Pines to have any chance.
A lot of power being run by Union Pines from what I could tell so far, with Caleb Milton being the majority of the ball carrier there. Also, out of that wing T gun formation, they're running some Ethan Biggs in the jet and all that. So really, really interesting game tonight. I think a key to the game, and I'll let you tell about some of your keys. I think it's going to be the battle up front. Can the Union Pines Vikings big guys start to lean in on Randleman? Randleman is only dressing about 38 players, and they only play about 18. So that is a lot of kids that are playing both ways. So definitely tonight, for me, the key is that front five and front four of Union Pines offense, defensive line, respectively, lean on Randleman, and let's see what can happen.
Well, good keys. I think my key to the game is for Union Pines to stay in this ball game for the first 3 quarters, because if they are playing limited amount of players at Randleman, Union Pines has to make sure that they stay in it, because by the end of the third, fourth quarter, Randleman may be gassed. It will be dependent upon the physicality of Randleman. If they can go for all 4 quarters and stay healthy and stay strong. Limited cramps, because we know this time of the year there are a lot of cramps because of the heat, kids not staying hydrated. So I believe the key to the game for Union Pines is to stay in this ball game for the first 3 quarters, and if they're within 1 score, they have a chance to pull off a major upset tonight at home against Randleman.
All right, so I'm gonna lay some heart-wrenching news down, and then I want you to describe what's happening on the field right now, because this is truly one of the coolest scenes in high school football, in my opinion. Head coach for the Randleman Tigers, Shane Timmons, has been more or less absent at times from the Randleman Tigers program this year, and I came to find out this afternoon why. His 2-year-old daughter has been diagnosed with a brain tumor. So rightfully so, head coach Timmons, he is here tonight. He's on the sidelines. He'll be calling this game for the Tigers. But moving forward, yes, we were opponents, but we're all fellows in this world together. So Coach Timmons, to all of Coach Timmons' family, all of you are in our prayers, and we hope your little girl gets better. That is the worst news a parent could ever get.
Absolutely, and only a parent can understand it.
Right.
So, Coach Timmons, our thoughts and prayers are definitely with you and your family at this time. Well, what's going on in the field is something that Union Pines has done for years now. It's almost a tradition where paratroopers are coming in. Actually, this is the first time I've seen 3. We had 3 paratroopers come in, one right after the other. So a lot of great. Obviously we're very close to the military bases here in the Sandhills of North Carolina. So very proud military community. So, Nate, we're going to have a great game here tonight, so hopefully it's competitive, and I look forward to calling it with you, my friend.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be super exciting. So I guess we'll go ahead and take our first commercial break of the night, and then we'll be right back with opening kickoff.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with the caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to make dreams come true.
RE/MAX Real Estate Service, this is Travis. You need to sell your house right away? I'm on the way. All in a day's work.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Legacy Commercial and Residential Construction welcomes you to the NFHS Network's Game of the Week. Brought to you by New Image Media.
Welcome, everybody, back to Will Hoyt Stadium here in Cameron, North Carolina, as we're getting ready to watch the kickoff of the Union Pines Vikings, led by head coach Jason Truesdale, take on the Randleman Tigers, led by head coach Shane Timmons. I didn't get to see the kickoff. I was too busy watching the paratroopers clean up their parachutes, but it looks like Randleman's going to kick off to the Vikings, so they'll have the ball first tonight.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. They're Mr. Nate, and tonight we mentioned in the pregame show a little bit about Caleb Milton. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of him here in this opening drive for Union Pines. And he has on the season close to 300 yards rushing, but what's most impressive, Nate, is that he averages 9.2 per carry. So be on the lookout for big number 4, Caleb Milton. And you did mention Ethan Biggs as well. He has 11 receptions for 132 yards, averaging 12 yards per reception. So we'll keep an eye on him as well.
Absolutely. Back to receive this kickoff for your Union Pines Vikings is number 3, Zion Kaiser, senior wide receiver and wide receiver and defensive back, and the number 14, Ethan Biggs. We've been watching this kid play since he was a freshman. This kid is dynamic. So if Randleman has been coached up, which I'm sure they have, they will not be kicking to Mr. Biggs. Beautiful night here at Will Hoyt Stadium. Probably mid-80s now at this point. The sun's starting to drop. That cool air starting to come in that's supposed to come in this weekend. The pines are up and bright and green as always. The stadium lights are on. The band's getting ready to start playing. This is the coolest environment.
It really is. It's absolutely a beautiful environment. The weather is perfect here tonight. I would say it's in the low 80s. The wind is north-northeast around 7 miles per hour. So it's a nice little cool breeze outside. We have a cool front that came in. No threat of weather whatsoever as far as rain or any of that. So it's going to be an absolute beautiful evening here, Nate. And so we are ready for kickoff. I'm not sure what the delay is, but, man, it's going to be exciting tonight. I really look forward to a good competitive game. Union Pines really must limit those turnovers. And once again, now you'd mentioned Coach Timmons. He had missed a few games this year. Is he here with us tonight?
Coach Timmons is here. He is on the sidelines. He is on the far sidelines walking back and forth in the gray pants.
Yep.
Younger man just squatted down, got in the what my wife used to call the serious stance back when I was coaching. That was the I don't need to talk to my husband because he might yell at me.
That's
stance.
My favorite football stance as a coach. There's no question.
All right, Randleman going to be kicking off. Big number 62, Christian McLeod, is their kicker and punter. This young man is 12 for 13 for the season on PATs. But this young man looks like he can flat lay somebody out. I don't know if I want to get in front of that young man.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. But, you know, sometimes size isn't always what is important there, Big Nate.
That's right.
He has the looks of the Southern Lee punter, Caleb Waters. Kind of has that look. So we got a touchback here.
Touchback there for the Vikings. I just had his name. Mr. McLeod kicked a roller all the way back into the end zone. So the Vikings will take over on their own 20-yard line, led by number 12, Anthony Goswick, quarterback. Tell me a little bit about Mr. Goswick.
Yeah, Anthony Goswick comes into the season completing 33 of 55 passes. With 428 yards, so a 60% completion rate. His QBR is 99.7. So not a bad quarterback. Actually, a very good, talented quarterback. He is a junior. but he's just going to have to protect the ball. So let's see how he does on the first snap here in the shotgun.
For all of our viewers at home, this is a gun wing T formation. Biggs on the jet, wrapped up there by a Randleman Tiger right off the bat. Number 20, Gregory Price, senior middle linebacker and tight end for the Tigers, go wrap up Biggs in the backfield. That brings up a 2nd and 15 here for the Vikings.
Nate, you mentioned in pregame your key of the game were the lines. And right there, the defensive line of Randleman certainly penetrated quite a bit there and got that tackle for loss.
Very good. So Union Pine's going to switch some formations a little bit here, dropping the tight end to the far side. Biggs is not out on the field at the moment, I don't believe. Melton back at running back. Quarterback read option, handed it right off to Melton. Melton goes almost nowhere. Looks like it'll be a wash or a loss of 1. Brings up a 3rd and 16 for the Vikings. And I tell you, Don, there aren't many coaches that have a 3rd and 16 play in their handbook.
No, they're not. But, it looked like that Caleb was a little bit shook up. I don't know if that was a broken play or not, but he looked like he got to about the 14-yard line and just stopped. I don't know. He was looking for an open path, obviously, but it seemed like the linemen there were not in tune with the play. But here we are, 3rd and long, and let's see what Coach Truesdale draws up.
Union Pines coming to a doubles formation on the bottom of your screen. Sorry, I should have said this earlier. Union Pines in blue, Randleman in white. Doubles formation here. Step back, long throw to number 85. Oh, broken up by a group of Tigers led by number 5 from Randleman, Micah Thurston, junior outside linebacker. Read that play well.
Yes, and the pass was intended for number 15, Jaden Martinez. He is a junior wide receiver, but unfortunately that pass did go incomplete and almost picked. So here comes the punter, and we have the return man at about midfield. And who is that return man?
Looks like number 20, and I don't see a number 20 on the roster, so I apologize.
I've got it. Gregory Price.
6'1",
200 pounds. He is a senior.
I believe that. Puts up a big spiraling kick. Going to go right about the original first down marker. It's going to get a good Vikings bounce back to their own 35. Randleman going to take over this possession with really good field position, hoping to put up a quick 6 here.
Yes, and I do apologize. The intended receiver on the last play for Goswick was number 25, Austin Event. He's a senior wide receiver, standing only 5'8", and weighing 145 pounds. So maybe if he had a couple more inches on him, he could have caught that pass a little bit over his head.
A little bit over his head. Union Pines has the lit-up yard marker there. I love to see that for a man who's getting a little bit older and eyes aren't quite as good.
Agreed.
Randleman back in an I formation with split doubles on the outside. Hand off to the tailback, looking to be a power of some sort for a loss of 1. Good play by a group of Vikings there. I didn't get a number for the tackle, but I think it might have been number 45, Jordan Hoffman.
That is correct.
He's the anchor of that defensive line for Union Pines, coming in on the season with 18 tackles. So at 3 games already, at a defensive lineman to have 6 tackles a game average is quite impressive.
Yes, that was Hoffman there, an impressive play.
17 drops it back. Quick toss out to Tyshawn Golson. He's going to get the first down.
Nice open field tackle there by number 8, Eric Jernigan for Union Pines. He's also a wide receiver, but right now playing defensive back. He is a senior, standing 6'2", 180 pounds.
That is our first down of the game. All of our first downs tonight will be brought to you by Shed Depot. They're in Tramway, North Carolina. Make sure you go see them for all of your shed needs. Kirkpatrick under center again. Handoff to number 2. I'm sorry, not number 2. What number is that, boys? Number 12, Edison Hernandez, senior outside linebacker, running back, gets a gain of almost 7 there.
Tackle made by number 11, Drew Doherty, the outside linebacker and middle linebacker, playing middle linebacker on that play. He is a sophomore, 5'7", 135.
Kirkpatrick we got some trickery here. Looks like Hernandez is going to receive the snap in some wildcat option. He's trying to break it to the outside. Vikings read that well and circle him right up for a gain of 2. This will bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Tigers.
3rd and short. Tackle made by number 5, Hayne Tobias. He is a 6'2", 182-pound sophomore for UP. So UP has some young players. They graduated a lot of players last year, and a very disappointing season nonetheless. But this year they do have a lot of young kids and playing very critical roles on this defensive squad.
Big 3rd and 2 here for the Tigers. Kirkpatrick under center. I'd expect to see a dose of Hernandez here. Whoa, wrapped up by a group of by a Viking. What number was that?
Number 11, Drew Doherty, coming back in, playing middle linebacker. Again, he's only a sophomore. And what a great play there by him, that young man.
Number 11, Drew Doherty, came in fast and hard out of the A-gap. Blew up that play before it had any time to go anywhere. That's really going to be a key for Union Pines as the night continues on. They're going to have to be able to keep Randleman honest with their blitzes. We're going to have to do some stunts, go attack A and B gaps pretty heavy.
So with that loss, we got about 4th and 6 now, Nate. So looks like they're going for a field goal.
Randleman going to kick here. Number 62, Christian McLeod, going to go for 3 here. Number 17, Kirkpatrick, is the holder, so keep your eyes on that. Union Pines goes after it. Kick is up, and kick is good. That'll put the Randleman Tigers 3, Union Pines 0. We'll have a quick break to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
Lamco Homes, from concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Legacy Construction here in Cameron, North Carolina. Randleman Tigers get the ball on the Union Pine Vikings 35. They got 1 first down, ended up being held and kicking a field goal. We were talking during the sponsors run. I think that was a win for the Vikings, Don.
100% a win for the Vikings there. Another touchback here as it goes into the end zone. Definitely a win there for the Vikings just to give up 3 points there. So can you imagine how crushing it would have been if they had to run down the field and scored 6 points on a touchdown? So definitely a win there for Union Pines. And, Nate, we talked about also next week. It's really critical for Union Pines to have a strong showing tonight because next week they go to conference rival Lee County. Lee County stands at 2-1 and entering tonight's football game. And so winning and evening their record at 2-2, Union Pines, and beating a team like Randleman going into Lee County would give them such a huge momentum.
Really critical going into the playoff. Once conference play starts, it's a race for playoffs, right? With the split 3A, 4A, Sand Hills Conference, the 3A winner and the 4A are guaranteed wins. Everything else comes down to record. So definitely need to pick up a second win here. Looks like there's going to be a false start here for the Vikings. That'll drop them back to 1st and 15 here.
Yeah, 1st and 15 for the Vikings. Unfortunately, once again, mistakes. You really have to limit those mental mistakes. I know there's a lot of young kids on that team, but you have to limit the mental mistakes. And one thing, Nate, let me ask you this. So, let's talk about penalties right now. Okay, so are you a fan of calling the number of the violator in high school?
Yes.
Yeah, so am I. I think in high school they deserve accountability, don't you?
Absolutely. And from a coaching standpoint, Ethan balls up to Ethan Biggs. It's caught. He's wrapped up by a group of Tigers. He's fighting. He's not going down. There he is. Takes down all the way to their 44-yard line. A gain of, my math is not phenomenal,
About 25 yards.
25 yards.
But I tell you what a beautiful pass there by Goswick. I mean, I'm telling you, that was really nice. An improvement from the first couple of weeks in football action here. Could have been 2 for 2 in completion. This young man is not afraid, and the coaching staff, Truesdale, is not afraid to call those long vertical plays, Nate. They are not afraid to do it.
And with a kid as dynamic as Biggs is, it is really exciting, and you have a lot of faith in that young man to go up and fight and get that ball. Randleman was down in a press man coverage there, and I'll tell you, I'll take Biggs against most defensive backs in press coverage in this conference. Snap is back, handed off to Melton. Melton gets to the edge, got a good block from Biggs. taken all the way down to the Tigers' 43-yard line. That'll be another Shed Depot first down.
Did you see how he just shredded through about 5 tacklers and 5 defenders? That young man is a beast. He was my pregame player of the game. We need a big night from big number 4, Caleb Milton, and so far he's showing himself to be accurate. Now, one thing I will say is don't stay up too long. When you know you're going down, go ahead and go down, because that second, third, fourth guy that comes in, what are they looking to do, Nate?
They're looking to go after the ball.
That's right.
Melton was there, hit in the backfield. It's a little drop pass to Melton. Melton's got some space. He's juking and jiving. He's going to find his way all the way up for a 9-yard gain.
Goswick went with a check down there, Nate, and it looks like that they are going to be just short.
It looks like it'll be 2nd and 1, which as a coach who used to call an offense, I would much rather have a 2nd and 1 than a first down there, because I always took a shot downfield at 2nd and short.
Honestly, 2nd and short is a free play. I mean, this is really a free play, and don't be surprised for them to go for pay dirt.
That's right. Under center here is going to do a quarterback sneak. It looks like he's got the first down and a little bit more. As long as he holds on to the ball, it should be another Viking first down, brought to you by Shed Depot.
So, Nate, what are the rules specifically as a coach, as a former AD? What are the specific rules on how long? Is it a judgment call? How long do the refs need to take before they blow a whistle?
So once they see forward progress being stopped, so it was always my understanding that basically once that runner has stood up and his forward progress is stopped, that's when you're supposed to blow it dead. Now, we've seen it blown early, we've seen it blown late, and we've seen it affect ball games. Ball thrown to Biggs. He's got space. Touchdown, Vikings!
And let me tell you, friends, that is exactly what this beautiful Carolina Blue team called the Union Pines Vikings here in Cameron, North Carolina needed, is to come out strong. They had a big defensive stop there on the opening drive for Randleman. They only gave up 3 points, and they came back, marched all the way down the field, 80 yards, and scored 6.
Number 12, Anthony Goswick, beautiful ball to Ethan Biggs. The Tigers never got out of that press man coverage. Biggs got loose on the outside. There are very few people that are going to catch up to him, and Goswick put that ball, what we call, right in the cradle.
Absolutely, and you got to give it to Ethan Biggs to create that separation, because the defender was right there on him, and then at the last minute he created about 10 yards of separation for an easy touchdown.
Number 70, Tay Tranel, back for the PAT for the Vikings. Snap is a little bit low. Block is kicked. That's a dead ball. No progression after PAT. So that'll make it 6-3. Union Pines goes ahead. 5:28 left to go in the first quarter. We'll hear a quick word from our sponsors and be right back for the kickoff. Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Legacy Construction here at Will Hoyt Stadium. Union Pines just put together a beautiful drive based on 2 big passes to Ethan Biggs and a big run by Caleb Melton that resulted in 6. So back to kick for the Vikings. Number 70, looks like we're going to have an offsides for the Union Pines
While
Vikings.
they work that out on the yardage there. Number 70, Tay Tranel, had that extra point blocked. He's also the kickoff man here. Have you noticed a trend in high school sports that a lot of the kickers are just getting bigger? They're just bigger kids. And I noticed that a lot of the teams in the Sand Hills Conference have rather large kids that are doing the kicking now. I'm not sure if that's a trend or if it's just happenstance.
Hey, I don't know either, to be honest with you. It really kind of started with Trey Underwood at Lee County. I don't remember any real big kickers until him. And Trey, not a huge kid, but a stocky kid.
Very stocky.
A lot stockier than you would usually see from a kicker. And ever since then, I think you're right, Don. I'd never noticed until you mentioned it, but I think you might be onto something here. Trennell going to try this again from the 35. Kicks, he's going to kick a dribbler up the field. Number 7 back for the Tigers. He catches it on the bounce. Amari Ferdinand tries to get space, ends up getting nowhere. It's tackled on their own 16.
Tackled by number 45, Jordan Hoffman, along with a couple of other Union Pines Vikings, along with number 15, Lawson Fields. So good coverage there on the kickoff team. Special teams is critical in games like this. So it looks like that Randleman's going to be starting at their own 16.
Randleman coming out here really hoping to get 6 quickly. I would expect to see a heavy dose of number 1, Tyshawn Goldston here. Randleman coming out in a doubles formation, led by number 17, John Kirkpatrick, quarterback. He's going to call it. Union Pines looking to be in a one deep defense formation. They've got a jet motion, handoff going nowhere. Tackle by number 11, Drew Doherty. Second time we've called that young man's name tonight.
And I didn't even have him marked off in pregame, but I'm going to tell you something right now. He is absolutely, if not the player of the game on defense, the player of the first quarter. That I can tell you.
I tell you, it's an old habit from coaching is highlighting certain things on papers when you're walking onto the field. Drew Doherty was not highlighted on my paper tonight, but I will say next week if I'm at Union Pines, he will be. Kirkpatrick back in the shotgun formation. We have trips down the bottom of your screen. Ball is up, overthrown to number 1, Tyshawn Goldston. Was going for that outside route. What are we looking here?
So I was just looking because
that's boys soccer, buddy.
Oh. So I got 2 11s.
Oh, okay. I think we're going to go with Drew Doherty.
I think so. All right.
Sorry, we were trying to figure out some rosters. That'll bring up a 3rd and 15 here for the Tigers. Kirkpatrick back quarterback. Trips formation to the bottom of your screen. Throw to Tyshawn Goldston. He sheds 1. He's trying to get wrapped up by a group of Vikings. Taken down. Ball's loose. Viking football going to take over on the Tigers 39. Huge turnover by the Union Pines Vikings.
100% huge turnover. I'm trying to see who that young man was who got that ball, but I'm going to tell you right now, it looks like it may be number 2, Austin Mooring, who is a halfback, junior, 5'11". I'm sorry, he's a senior linebacker, standing 6'2", 185. Big Austin Mooring, way to go, kid.
Austin Mooring is a kid that we called a lot last year. Defensively, a real threat anytime he's on the field. You talked earlier about sometimes as a runner you've got to know when to get down when that 3rd and 4th guy comes in. That's exactly what happened there. Union Pines, the first guy wraps him up. They're trying to take down Tyshawn Goldston. Here comes number 2, number 3. Ball's punched out.
Yep, 1st and 10 on the Tigers' 39.
McCormick back at Goswick back at quarterback. Step back. Another big throw to Biggs. He's got space. Oh, just a little beautiful pass there by Goswick.
What I love Truesdale is doing right now is the fact that if it's not broke, don't fix it. If they can't stop it, keep running it, right? Go for it. Go for the pay dirt. I love that. Goswick is throwing the ball. He's seeing the field very clear. He's seeing it wonderfully. And Biggs just ran a little bit outside his route. Should have cut in a little bit more. He'd have been a touchdown.
Right, very good. That is, I will say, the Tigers came up with 2 high that time, so there was safety support over the top. Now they're showing 1 high from what it appears here. But they did roll an extra over there to try to prevent Biggs. Biggs just a little bit got outside. Handoff to Melton, wrapped up right, probably a yard short, maybe 2 yards short of the line of scrimmage. I thought he was getting ready to break it loose and hit the edge there.
Tyshawn Goldston, you mentioned, is number 1, and he is the gentleman that is covering Ethan Biggs, and he is a junior. But, Nate, he is 6'4". Look at that young man.
And I believe it. Looking at that young man, I believe it.
So Biggs has to, Biggs only stands 5'8", right? So you got 6'4" against 5'8", but yet he's got 1 touchdown on him, and honestly, that second one should have been in for a touchdown as well. Now they've switched him up on the far side. Goswick back. Throws complete. That is complete to Ethan Biggs. Back to, looks like Nate, original line of scrimmage.
Back to make a 4th and 10 here for the Vikings. This is really tough territory too, Don. This is, you're in punting range where you still got room. You can pin them back, or you can go forward and still have plenty of room if you're trusting your defense. Looks like Coach Jason Truesdale's not going to take any chance here. He's going to punt this ball off.
Which I think is a good call. Early in the game, still in the first quarter, I think you try to pin them back deep. If not, even if it does go into the end zone, you still give allow them to start only at their 20 as opposed to right now it'd be the 40.
Right, back to kick this ball is Trannell, I believe. Snap is back. Snap is a little low, but recovered well. Kick is up, sky high. Looks like it's going to drop down right about the 11-yard line, get a good bounce. Looks like he's going to end up right around the 15.
Yeah, and
it's
that's
hard
not,
to tell
that's
from
not,
here.
That's not Trannell, but I'm not sure who it is because I don't have a number 20 on my roster.
What do we have here? Side judge was blowing a whistle and pointing over at Union Pine's sideline, so wouldn't be surprised if they've got a sideline warning here, which they're excited. These things happen. I think our zebra crews at times get a little overeager with those sideline warnings. But I was known to get a flag and yell at a ref a time or two, so I'm probably a little biased.
So a quick score update in the Sand Hills Conference. Southern Lee High School, who comes in tonight with a record of 2-1, looking to improve to 3-1. They are at home against the Tornadoes of Fairmont, and they are currently up in the second quarter, 20-0.
20-0. Good job by the Cavaliers. That was a false start on the Vikings. Not quite sure why they're not having to re-kick that, but it seems to be assessed at the end of the play here. So the Tigers are going to get the ball on their own 21-yard line, led by number 17, Kirkpatrick. We've got doubles formation. Remember, Tigers are in white. Kirkpatrick back. Step, big throw to Tyshawn Goldston. Overthrown. Very, very tough play, but broken up by number 3, Zion Kaiser from the Union Pines Vikings. That is a tough throw. I'm starting to see a trend here with Kirkpatrick. It did not look like he was working through his receiver tree at all. It looks like right at the beginning of the snap, he had his eyes on Tyshawn Goldston, and that was the only place he was interested in throwing that ball.
Which is a major mistake. If you've played quarterback from Pop Warner all the way up, you never stare down your receiver. You always check your routes and then try to fool the defense.
Ooh, we've got a flag from a back judge.
False start, Randleman.
Union Pines was showing a gap blitz, bringing a linebacker in right in the line of scrimmage, and that flag came in right at the center's hand, which usually designates when that A-gap blitzer started coming in, starting to show blitz, that center twitched the ball just a little bit, and they caught it. So good play there by Union Pines to draw that flag. Brings up a 2nd and 15 here. Snap is back, handoff. I'm sorry, I missed that number. I think it's number 5, Micah Thurston.
Yeah, and tackle by number 71, Avery Neal. He's a defensive end for Union Pines. So short gain on the play is going to bring up 3rd down. You know, Nate, you look around, and we talked a little bit about the atmosphere. Randleman brings a pretty decent crew here, but if you look at the home side, which our camera doesn't get, it's pretty much full tonight here at home, and you got a great student section down there making noise. You got a great band. If you have a good band and you got a great student section and you got a lot of fever, you're gonna sell out just about every home game.
It makes Friday night exciting. Kirkpatrick back, throws it to Goldston. One-handed catch. Goldston's going to take it all the way to the end zone. That's where that 6'4", long legs, long stride. He caught that on the run with his left hand. Just rolled that ball right in, took it all the way to the end zone. That will put up your Randleman Tigers to 9, Union Pine 6. We'll wait and see what the PAT does.
That was Odell Beckhamish. Really nice. I thought to myself, there's no way he's going to catch up to that ball, but he extended that left arm all the way out, brought that baby in. But, you know, it's not textbook, but it looked good.
But it worked. As a coach, you sit there, you go, oh, go with 2 hands all the time. But it worked, so you can't yell at them too much, at least not in public. Kick is back, kick is up. This young man's got a boot on him. Kick is good. Christian McLeod for the PAT. That makes him 2 for 2 for the night. 1 PAT and 1 field goal. We're going to take a quick break. Randleman Tigers 10, Union Pine Vikings 6.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Carolina here with Nate Cochrane and myself, Don Clayton. Cameraman Tim Hare bringing you all the action on and off the field tonight. And we are set for the kickoff here after the touchdown by Randleman. And we have just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter, Nate.
Biggs and Kaiser back to receive this kickoff. McLeod has put them all in the end zone already. Big booming kick. This one looks like it's going to go out of bounds. So that'll be a penalty. Let's see if Jason Truesdale puts his offense on the field or if he makes Randleman re-kick it.
So while we wait for Coach Truesdale's decision, any big plans over the weekend there, Coach Nate?
I do not have a ton of plans. One of my college roommates, his son, is turned 2 this week. So we're going up for his second birthday to Wake Forest, North Carolina, tomorrow. And so all the dads will watch the kids play on bounce houses and splash pads while, we watch some college football action.
Sweet. Hopefully they don't have charter cable.
Oh, well, if not, I can always log into my YouTube TV.
There you go. Free promotion.
Free promotion. In a little bit, I want you to explain this Spectrum, Disney, ESPN, because I'm completely clueless about this.
I'll be happy to do it.
Snap is back. Big throw up. He's got a man open. If he doesn't overthrow, ball's way too far out in front. Trying to pull a number on that.
I believe that was Hayne Tobias, wide receiver. He's only a sophomore, but he's 6'2". So once again, just like on the opposite side of the ball, Goswick staring down the receiver. So, he's got good protection. The only time where he was really in trouble was on that first series. But right now, the line seems to be taking shape there for UP and kind of handling those Randleman guys. And like I said, my key of the game was to stay in this game for the first 3 quarters. And so far, UP is doing a great job.
I have to wonder if Goswick there was not so much king on one of his wide receivers, but one of the DBs of who they want to go after. Ball's handed off to Melton. He's getting to the outside. He's going to get a big gain here of 6, almost 7. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Union Pines Vikings.
Best run of the night for Caleb Milton, and just shy of his average of 9.2 yards per carry, but nonetheless the best run for him all night long for sure.
Caleb Milton runs this ball aggressive. I like the way this young man carries this ball. I don't love that spot, though. Anyways, we'll bring up a 3rd and 4 here for the Vikings. Melton is your up back. Goswick quarterback. We've got trips on the short side of the field, which is on the bottom of your screen at home. Goswick under center is going to try to draw him off sides. Not going to happen. Truesdale is going to call a timeout. He got the good old-fashioned go-go. We're just going to stay here while this timeout happens. All right, Don.
Yeah.
Tell me what in the world is happening with this
very
Spectrum.
Frustrating. I'm telling you, I've got Charter Spectrum. I've had it for many, many years, and so I don't blame them. I really don't. I don't blame them. It's business, it's capitalism. It is what it is. But Saturday, I'm getting really stoked. I'm getting super excited. I want to watch Prime Time to see what he does at Colorado in his opening game at TCU.
The best game of the week.
Oh my word, no doubt. And then I want to watch other games throughout the day. I turn it on. I see this blank screen that says, "Sorry, folks. This is a Disney-owned channel, and therefore Spectrum and Disney are having arguments right now, and so therefore we're not allowing you to watch this game." And so very frustrating, and I was scrambling to try to find the ways to watch some football because, Nate, not only did it take out ESPN, but it also took out ESPN2, ESPN News. It also took out the ACC network, and it also took out ABC. So any game –
which had the game Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Okay. And any game that was played on any of those channels you could not watch, and still to this day, it's a blackout.
Oh, and of course they didn't decide to announce that until Saturday morning, right?
That's right, and actually it was Friday midday. But,
okay, well.
But there doesn't seem to be a solution anytime in the near future.
Well, time to get YouTube TV. Goswick handoff there to Melton, wrapped up in the backfield by a gaggle of Tigers.
See, to me, coming out of a timeout, that's the worst feeling in the world. That'll punch you in the gut as a coach. Coming out of a timeout, you waste a timeout, you draw up a play, you spend time, you look at it, you look at the analytics, you try to figure it out, and you come out, you want to outsmart the defense, and you come out and you lose yardage after a timeout.
After a timeout, not the play. That was just a basic power there. Not the play that you love to see. Well, if they snap this ball here, they're going to get a free first down with so many Tigers on the field. Anyways, kick is good snap back. Kick is up. Good punt here for the Vikings. Ball's received by number 1, Tyshawn Goldston. Tripped up on his own shoelaces for a gain of maybe 1. The Tigers will take over on their own 31-yard line. Randleman got real lucky there. Union Pines wasn't playing heads-up football and didn't snap that ball because that would have been a flag for too many men on the field. I think at one point I counted almost 14 or 15.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Yeah, I tell you what, this is let's see, it's got to be 16 seconds left in the first quarter, folks. Where I'm standing, I have a hard time seeing the scoreboard, but 16 seconds left, and then that's when we'll take our next TV timeout. But
I loved this time frame when I was calling an offense.
That's gonna be offsides on you
because I'm taking a shot. With 16 seconds, everyone's going to expect you to run the ball, run the ball. Clock expires, flip the field.
Yep.
Nope. I love to take a shot.
Special shout out here, Big Nate, and that is with. Have you noticed that right behind the press box is a brand new neighborhood?
Okay.
Can you imagine the new neighbors on Friday night and trying to put their infant child to sleep at 6:30 at night on a game night?
As someone who has a 4-year-old son, and wasn't too long ago I was putting down infants and toddlers, I never would have bought a house there.
Well, see, that's common sense, right? Because the football field and stadium has been here a whole lot longer than those homes. And let me just tell you this before we go to commercial break. So guess who bought a home there?
No idea.
Somebody that we know very well, and someone who has very young children and one on the way.
Oh.
Pastor Jonathan Carter at Life Springs Church in Sanford, North Carolina.
He's living across the street,
Yes, he is. Yes,
I have
he
to
is.
go bang on his door. Anyways, we have the end of the first quarter. Your Union Pine Vikings 6, Randleman Tigers 10. We're going to have a quick break from our sponsor. Be back for the second quarter.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
And we are back live here in Cameron, North Carolina. Union Pines Vikings down by 4 against Randleman Tigers. And Randleman comes from the county of Randolph, and they have some really tough football programs in that county. Randleman is no exception. So now they are starting fresh, 12 minutes on the clock in the second quarter, starting at their own 40, looking to go 60 yards for a touchdown. We'll see if UP can stop that.
Don, do we have any updates from Southern Lee High School?
It's halftime, 20-0. I take that back. I just got a refresh. 28-0, Southern Lee High School over Fairmont.
All right, Kirkpatrick back in the quarterback, steps back, working through his tree. Pass number 1, Tyshawn Goldston. He breaks one, wrapped up by a group of Vikings there, taken down on the Vikings' 49-yard line. So that'll be a big first down for the Randleman Tigers. All first downs tonight brought to you by Shed Depot.
That's right. And we have been in the RE/MAX Red Zone a couple of times. I'm not sure if we've mentioned that, but thank you to RE/MAX. And I tell you, right now, it's Randleman is just into Union Pines territory at the 49. The question is, are they going to continue the air attack? And if they are going to continue the air attack, is it going to continue to be to big number 1, Tyshawn Goldston? Let's see.
All right, snap is back. Kirkpatrick's rolling. He's got some green space. Throws sidearm, trying to do a Mahomes pass there. skips across dirt. Looks like my driver off a tee box.
Well, you know,
Dom.
same. And you know who else has a really good sidearm, and he showed it against South Carolina last week, and that's Drake May. So, with that being said,
sorry.
I will say that he did have wide open in the middle of the field, Tyshawn Goldston. He had him wide open for a good 4 seconds, and he missed him. Did not even look his way.
Didn't even look his way. So Kirkpatrick back in a I formation here. Had a fullback and an up back. We got a flag. Looks like it's going to be encroachment on the defense. Thank you. All right, so that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Tigers. Kirkpatrick leading this Tiger offense, leading 10-6 here, 11:15 to go in the second quarter. Kirkpatrick under center. This is a big young man. Hand off to the fullback. Fullback's got some space. Number 30 on the run. 31 on the run. Dylan Atkins at the fullback position. Finds space in the A-gap and just bursts right through it.
Yep, and Zion Kaiser comes off the field hanging his head. Looks like he may have missed a tackle there on that play, but checking in for him is number 8, Eric Jernigan for UP. But nonetheless, a good run for Randleman, and if they can go up here 17-6, that would, that's going to go against my play of the game, and that would be for UP just to stay in it because, like you mentioned earlier in the pregame show, there are a lot of guys for Randleman that plays both ways, and they're going to get gassed, and you have to stay in this competition.
Right, Kirkpatrick steps back, throws, big throw. Oh, let's see what the ref calls.
Wow.
Touchdown, Tigers. Reception there by number 3, Tate Andrews.
Wow.
What a play.
What an absolute play. He had, and he's only a sophomore. He is only a sophomore, and he's also a backup quarterback. And let me tell you something, what a great athlete he is to jump up, and I don't have his height, but he had a defender that wasn't in his face. His back was to him, but the defender was also going up. They were there, stomach to back, both fighting for the ball, and he came down with it. What a play.
McLeod back for the PAT. Kick is up. Kick is good. He kicked that thing 50 yards. That will put the Randleman Tigers up 17 against your Union Pines Vikings 6. We'll take a quick one cycles sponsor commercial, and then we'll go from here.
As Love Connection would say, 2 and 2.
2 and 2. There we go.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Welcome back to Cameron, North Carolina, at Will Hoyt Stadium. You're watching NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Legacy Construction. Tough play there for the Union Pines Vikings. That was a 50-50 ball. Kirkpatrick threw it up there to number 3, Tate Andrews. Tate Andrews just muscled that ball out from the Vikings.
Yeah, no doubt. He absolutely did. And it's very disappointing. And like I said, Union Pines right now, this is a very critical moment in this football game. I know it's early in the second quarter, but, Nate, I'm telling you this as a coach. You know this is a very critical drive. You cannot go 3 and out. You cannot punt the ball. You have to come away with some points. You have to come away with some points on this possession. You must, because if not, you run the chance of this game getting away from you, and then by the time the fourth quarter comes, regardless of how many you score, you're just too far behind.
Well, let's keep in mind here, another ball put into the end zone by McLeod. That young man's got a boot on him.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, also coming in from the beginning of the second half, Randleman gets the ball again, which really makes this drive very important because you don't want to have a 3 and out. You know, you're starting to see how many series are going to be left in this first half. You know, we've still got plenty of time, so I'm not saying, you know, this is a do or die. This is the only drive of the half. That's not what I'm saying. But these drives start getting more and more important, knowing that Randleman's going to be getting the ball at the beginning of the second half no matter what.
Yeah, and, you know, again, I'm almost at the point where I'm saying it's pretty much not a do or die situation, but it's pretty serious.
50-50 raffles,
yeah,
which are illegal in the state of North Carolina. Melton just dragging people, bouncing off.
So let's talk about that, Nate. You know, a lot of high schools do that 50-50 raffle, and you just mentioned that it's illegal, but is it illegal for a public school to do it?
Yes. That is directly from someone that's part of the Gambling Commission. You are allowed, well, they within themselves are not illegal. You are allowed 3 per year.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, you know why they're illegal, right? Because they're not ran by the state.
Yeah, because they can't get their cut.
Right.
Right. Anti-government, I'm with you. Anyways, doubles formation here for Union Pines Vikings. Goswick back. Ball is tipped. Enid was, had a chance there. Number 5, Haynes Tobias.
Wide receiver.
Had
He
a
should have
chance
caught
to pull
that.
it in.
You know, again, you get the ball thrown by Goswick in the numbers over the middle. You know, when you're a wide receiver, Nate, I know you were probably never
I
a
was
wide
not.
receiver.
I was
but,
not.
When you're a wide receiver, you know, especially coming over the middle, your focus is probably on that defender that's coming head-to-head to smack you one, and you lose concentration and drop the ball.
Right. Union Pines coming in, trips formation to the top of your screen, the wide side of the field. Goswick goes up, throws up to number 5, Micah Thurston. A lot of contact, no flag.
And there with him was Chase Farlow for Randleman. Chase Farlow is a great athlete, a junior. What a great young man. He plays wide receiver and a strong safety, but 6'3", 160 pounds. He's been on several plays tonight for Randleman.
Union Pines, quick 3 and out here. They had 1 run and barely ran off a minute of time here. So Randleman's going to get the ball back with 9:52 left to go in the second quarter. Plenty of time.
Yeah, and Union Pines is going to need a stop here. There's no doubt.
Kick is up. Kick is, off the side of his foot. That ball lands at the 32, gets a good Union Pines Vikings bounce. Bounces up to their own 41-yard line. Randleman going to take over in great field position.
Yeah, I don't know who that punter is, but this is probably a good time for us to take a quick commercial timeout and pay some bills.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
We're back here in Cameron, North Carolina at the stadium of the Union Pines Vikings, who have a long history of success here in all athletics, including football, softball, baseball, tennis, basketball, a proud school with proud student athletes.
Right, and wrestling.
Yes.
A big wrestling program here. Kirkpatrick throws. Quick tunnel screen here. Goldston never taken down but pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Cornerback Lawson Fields taking him out.
That's not a tunnel. What do you call that? It's not a bubble. It's not a tunnel. Yeah, I don't know. My mind's drawing a blank.
I don't know. But
I should have stayed up and watched the Kansas City game last night. I might would have remembered it.
Yeah,
second and third here.
I didn't stay up to watch that game either, my friend.
Oh, I did. That's my problem.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I woke up this morning thinking that I was going to see Kansas City 28 to like 7.
Detroit's for real this year. I'm a Detroit believer. I'm telling you, I think they're for real this year. Got my first score update for your Lee County Yellow Jackets. For anyone at home watching that cares, currently playing Panther Creek at home. Lee County 7, Panther Creek 7.
Wow, that's a close game. Really kind of unexpected there. But like you said earlier in pregame, Lee County is not quite the school they have been in recent years. So this, in my opinion, this conference, with the exception of Pinecrest, is wide open.
Absolutely. I still believe, said this at the beginning of the year, this is Pinecrest's season to lose here.
I agree.
Also score Scotland County 21, Jack Britt 7. Uh-oh.
Nice catch by number 20 there.
Gregory Price there on the catch carry all the way down to the Remax red zone. The line to gain is going to be the 6-yard line there.
So, Nate, when you're an athlete and you're a senior and you're 6'1" and you weigh 200 pounds and you're all muscle, you can play fullback, tight end, and middle linebacker, which is what Gregory Price does.
And you could probably throw in a lineman if you wanted to.
I'm sure he does that as well. They just didn't have enough room on Max Preps.
You're only allowed 3 positions.
That's right.
All right, Kirkpatrick back of the shotgun, doubles formation, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Number 11 goes in motion. It is all dress work, hand off. It's going to go almost nowhere.
Yeah, a good stop there in the backfield, at least the initial contact by 45 Jordan Hoffman for Union Pines. That's going to bring up 2nd down and goal. Where is the ball there, Nate? It's going to be on the 6 of UP, 7 of UP?
On the 7 of UP, so a loss of 1 there. Bring up 2nd and 7 here. Randleman not in any hurry to get up to the line of scrimmage.
So you made a great point, and so we're going to watch this play, and then I've got a great question for you.
I can't wait. Kirkpatrick rolling, throw, puts the ball right into the chest. Number 20, Gregory Price again on the reception, takes it all the way up to the Viking 1-yard line, but he is stopped short. This will bring up a third and goal from the 1-yard line.
So you're the athletic. Okay, no, we're going to watch this play. They're hurrying it up.
Randleman in a tight I formation here. I'd expect this ball to go right into the gut of Price, and it does, and he's good. That is another Randleman touchdown. That'll make it 23 Randleman.
So while we're waiting for the kicker to come out and kick that extra point, Nate, I have a question for you. You mentioned you were an athletic director for a short period of time. Let's just pretend for a moment that you are the athletic director for Union Pines Vikings. You get a young lady, say she's 30 years old. She comes to your office, she knocks on the door, she says she just bought a house out here behind the press box. She has an infant, and the infant cannot go to sleep on Friday nights. I want you to think about it first before you respond.
All right.
We're going to go to commercial break after this kick. And
I'm not good at thinking before responding.
That's why I want you to think. So the kick is good. And so, therefore, with 7 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the half, it's 24-6. Randleman, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen, Nate Conchard's response to that young mother.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Legacy Construction. I would do 2 things to answer your question here, Big Don Clayton. The first thing I would do is I would tell her, I hope the best. I hope they love their new home, but I don't really care. The second thing I would do is I would buy a bottle of melatonin, and I would put it in their mailbox and give it as a gift from the Union Pines Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, audience, this is why he was only an athletic director for a
very short amount of time.
And think about it. He had a few minutes to think about that response as well. So very creative and well done there.
McLeod, the kick, another boomer. I like this young man kicking the ball. Biggs catches it on their own 1-yard line, reading the field, get to the sideline, and he steps out right at the 28-yard line.
So I know they're down by 18 points, but my question to you is as a former coach, and former coach, you're always a coach, right? But, you know, he picks the ball up on the 1-yard line and runs it. So that's pretty much the same as taking it in the end zone in the NFL or college and running it out. What do you tell a young man if they catch the ball on the 1 or 2? Do you tell them to don't catch it, let it go in and take it at the 20, or take the risk to run it out? In this case, it worked out for UP as they gained 9 extra yards.
So this is very kid-dependent. When you have a kid as dynamic as Ethan Biggs back there, you let him pick it up every time, because anytime he has the ball in his hands, you have a chance. If you have someone like myself back there picking, you say, look, kid, get away. Just get away. We got a hot dog for you on the sideline. Just don't even think about it.
Beautiful.
So,
yeah, and that's Milton again on the run. He's really had nowhere to go. The Randleman Tigers have done a great job. You have to give them and their coaching staff credit, because they knew coming into the game that Caleb Milton by far was their best player on offense. And unfortunately, well, he hopped right back up. So looks like he may have got hurt there in the growing area, but that'll take a few seconds, and then he'll be back out.
He will have to come off for one play, though. Once play stops for an injury, that player does have to sit out at least one play. So he's over the sidelines. I got a sneaking suspicion he caught a helmet somewhere that no young man wants to catch a helmet. This will bring up a 2nd and 10 here for the Vikings. Tight trips formation on the bottom of your screen for the Vikings. Biggs goes to formation, shuttle pass to Biggs off the jet. He's trying to get to the outside. He's wrapped up by number 44, Tanner Netting. I apologize to Tanner's mother if I got that wrong.
I thought 44 was Icky Woods. I tell you, that boy does some great commercials. I love his – and, he's a Cincinnati boy. He was a flash in the pan, but he's still there supporting that school. Here in a minute, we're going to talk a little NFL. I want to talk to you a little bit about what you think the future is of the Carolina Panthers, not only this year but in the future years. And what are your thoughts on Bryce Young? Would you have drafted him? Why not? And does his size concern you? But just give that a thought. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, Coach.
Of course. Union Pines coming back on a tight trips formation at the bottom of your screen. Looks like it was a bit of a broken play. Biggs getting the ball in space, trying to get the outside. Breaks one, breaks two, breaks three. Taken down at their own 43-yard line for another Viking first down.
Yeah, now that was a great play. A lot of broken tackles there. A lot of really good moves. A lot of, and that's the old Ethan Biggs that we love, right? That's the Ethan Biggs that was promising earlier in his high school career, and we really haven't seen a lot out of that. Caleb Milton kind of stepped up and kind of became the number one back, but nonetheless, Ethan Biggs, what a great run there for that young man.
Union Pines back in the same tight trips formation at the bottom of your screen. They're not bunched this time next to the line of scrimmage. They're down to the very bottom of your screen. Nonetheless, still a bunch trips. Ball's back. Big throw up. That ball is way underthrown here.
Yeah, it slipped out of his hands. You could tell Goswick immediately wiping his hands down. So it slipped completely out of his hand. That ball was underthrown 15 yards. And he's lucky it didn't get picked off.
Big number 33, Ty Moten from the Randleman. We're starting to see some scrappiness coming out of both of these teams on those front lines. Definitely something to watch. We've got to make sure these kids keep good heads about them.
So that brings up second down and 10. So tell me what you think about the Panthers' future and Bryce Young.
I will be honest, I have not followed it the last couple of years as tight as I should. Being a new father, starting a new career, I kind of got out of it for a while. Football was my life for a really long time, so I kind of took a break from it other than broadcasting. I like Bryce Young, though. Now, his size concerns me, as it does everyone else in the country. But, I'm hopeful, right? Hopeful still. Who knows?
Yeah, and we got an injured player, so we're going to keep it right here, and we're going to continue to talk about it because we are in North Carolina, and these are North Carolina schools, and so there are a lot of Panther fans out there. And so, from a former coach, he's 5'9", and he's maybe 195 pounds soaking wet. I'm not sure exactly his stats, but he's a small guy. So a lot of folks are concerned about his frame when he goes down taking a sack or getting hit. My concern more is in the pocket, throwing the ball and getting batted down passes. So you look, he's not the traditional stand in the pocket Eli Manning type quarterback is pretty much going away.
Those guys are gone.
And so therefore, with that being said, you would not bat an eye at a 5'9" running back, would you? No, because they're low to the ground, they can take off. But saying that, Bryce Young is not necessarily a running quarterback. So he's got a lot to prove. The Panthers did not win not one single game in preseason, but it's going to be interesting. The NFC South is going to be very interesting. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Atlanta Falcons this year, if you want to know the truth, and the New Orleans Saints. I think both of those teams are going to be a lot better than a lot of folks are thinking. So here we go, 3rd down and 10, Big Nate. Ball is at the UP 43-yard line. This is my opinion. Now we're going to talk about it. This is a must-get first down.
Must have first down here. 5:15 left to go here this second quarter. Union Pine's going to have to put up points here quickly, or this game can get out of hand real quick. Sideline warning against Union Pines. There it is. Because kids can't be excited in today's football game.
So let me ask you a question, Coach Nate. When on a sideline warning, is that would you say it's 80-20, 70-30, 50-50? That almost was a pick six.
Broken up by number 28, not on our roster. Heck of a play, though, by that young man. And sorry, what was your question? 50-50, 60-40,
yeah, no, that's
70-30?
good. That was a good play. We needed to call that out. But I do think that was actually number 20, Gregory Price, again, playing middle linebacker. That broke that up. Almost went to the house with it. Anyway, Gregory Price. Yeah, I mean, would you say it's 50-50, 60-40? What would you say it is when it comes to sideline warnings? Is it players or is it coaches?
When it was me, 100% coaches. I think more often than not it's coaches than it is players. Players, all these teams have these mats out now. Players are well conditioned. Don't get off the mat unless you're called to. I think it's more coaches, more or less. So Truesdale is going to take a timeout here. Didn't like what he saw. Big 4th and 10 here. 4:53 is when the clock should be stopping. So we're going to take a quick break here from our sponsor. Be back to watch this big 4th down.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Legacy Construction. Exciting halftime. We're going to have a special guest here with us. A local high school legend in Sampson County, Tim Hare, is going to be joining us for the halftime show.
Wow.
At one point in time, owned how many records at Clinton High School? A couple, 3, 2 or 3? Anyways.
That's going to be exciting. How did we manage to do that, Nate?
I can't,
honestly.
I know people.
I mean, he's also a ladies' man. I mean, he's got women all over him. He's got an entourage.
I know. We've got 6 down there. I've got to throw paper at to get them to go away. Goswick ball.
So we're going to have turnover on downs, and now it's going to get ugly. This was my key to the game right here.
It's an early call there, Don.
It is going to get ugly. They're taking over in Viking territory. It's not even the second half yet. It's 24-6. They got an 18-point lead. It's going to get ugly. So, again, that was my takeaway. I mean, not takeaway. That was my key stat in the pregame, and that was the key to the game. You have to stay in this ball game because, again, they play so many players back and forth. Yes, they're talented. They're physical. But if you can stay there, stay with them until the late in the third, early fourth, there's a good chance you will come away at home and win this football game. But now I'm afraid it very well could get ugly. But stay with us, folks. Stay with us because you never know. That's why they play the game.
That's right. Randleman's coming out. Doubles formation, puts a man in motion. Number 4 carrying the ball. Lane Swaim turns the quarter and meets.
Nice tackle, Eric Jernigan there for Union Pines. Just a wonderful tackle there by that young man.
A gang of Vikings, a squad of Vikings. What did you call a group of Vikings back in the day? For the academics in the room. If you're at home listening and you're an academic, shoot us a text message. I'll give you Don's number at halftime.
Let's see. I'll think about it.
All right.
And I'm sure I'll come up with the right answer. I have my favorite friend here called Google.
And now we have an official timeout. White Hat is barking at number 4, Lane Swaim, about something. Now let's see.
So listen to this. A group of Vikings is called a Scandinavian clan or a Norse clan.
Oh, okay. I guess based on region that they came from.
That is correct. Now, they didn't play the opening tonight that they have previously. I wonder why. That was a really cool opening. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Would the guys with parachutes and
and
the game ball potentially have something to do with that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
2nd and 10 here for the Randleman Tigers. Kirkpatrick back. Doubles formation. They're tight there at the bottom of your screen. Randleman going right to left. Just a quick little toss-off, and a shoe goes flying.
I didn't know what that was.
I believe that was a shoe.
I didn't know if it was his mouth guard. I didn't know if it was his shoe. I didn't know if it was a towel. I didn't know if it was his head.
Or a glove. It might have been a glove.
It could have been his foot.
A piece of football apparel flew about 20 yards.
For a total of a 3-yard gain.
For a total of 3 yards. The apparel flew farther than the ball went.
Correct, by far.
This will bring up a 3rd and big 6 here for the Randleman Tigers. Again in that doubles formation. Kirkpatrick back. Dumps off to the running back, number 12, Edison Hernandez.
So, Nate, when you were coaching, what did you teach?
What was what did I actually get paid for?
School? Yeah.
I was a science teacher. I taught physical science, biology, and earth environmental science.
Oh, so let me ask you this. Now, this is a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it nonetheless.
No such thing.
What did you enjoy more? Did you feel as if you had more impact as a teacher? You're a teacher and a coach, but I understand that. But as a teacher in the classroom or as a coach on the football field?
So I want to make something very, very evident here. I was a coach who set myself up for success by getting a science teacher licensure. So that's just what that was.
I got you.
Randleman going with the old-fashioned go there, trying to get Union Pines offsides for the first down. Union Pines did not go for it. Randleman called a timeout. We'll hear a quick sponsor, and then you'll hear some more stories about me rehashing my teaching days. Welcome back to Will Hoyt Stadium here at Cameron, North Carolina. To answer your question, I loved teaching. Coaching was a true passion of mine. I enjoyed teaching. I enjoyed all of my classes, all of my students that I got to interact with. But coaching was where I really felt like I made a difference. And I don't know if I really did or not, but I went to sleep one night feeling like I did, and that's why I did it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that go into it. Now, I will say this: a lot of folks go into it because their kids are playing the sport, so they feel like they need to coach. So, how many coaches do you know where their kids actually play the sport? I always coached my son in baseball when he played baseball, but it was always nice to be able to step away and let somebody else coach my son.
I will say I started the review process of local youth football associations this fall in anticipation of my son playing next fall. And, ball was tipped up by number 14, committed the cardinal sin of wide receivers. You never tip a ball up. Almost intercepted by a group of Vikings, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Big defensive stand there for the Vikings.
So the squad to be looking out for in Sanford is the Brick City Tigers, which is where Brother Nate Cochrane lives. And so are you looking at the Brick City Tigers? Is that the organization?
I am not going to publicly say yet where my son will be playing. Not that I have any idea if he'll be any good or if I'll be any good at coaching 6-year-olds. But wherever my son and I decide he goes, that was probably where I'll pick my whistle back up.
Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. Mama's not thrilled. Trips formation on the top of the screen. Drop back to Melton. Melton gets almost back to the line of scrimmage. I am looking forward to getting back to the coaching world and interacting with the kids. But
it never gets out of your blood, right?
I coached young men, and I got used to coaching young men a certain way, and going to coach kids is going to be a transition.
Well, yeah, you mentioned young men, but a lot of times too, a lot of coaches go from coaching men to coaching girls, and that too is a different game.
Cool. Yeah, I never made that switch. Anyways, big pass there for Union Pines Vikings. This will bring up 3rd and 4. Huge third down play here for the Vikings. We've kind of got busy, got distracted talking. Goswick really looking here to put the ball downfield and convert this first down. There's 1:25 left to go, and that clock is ticking. There was no timeouts called. It does look like Union Pines has one timeout left. Goswick back. Melton getting real close to him. He's going to be the protector. Oh, pass, quick pass. That will be a Union Pines first down in Tiger territory.
Tobias with the catch there, and nice slant route there, and good pass, good protection. First down, UP.
Union Pines going to get a fresh set of downs on the Tiger 45-yard line. They've got to start going quick. 1:06 left. Once that white hat whistles, clock starts. Deep ball to Biggs.
Yes,
that ball's picked. Oh no,
wow.
Tyshawn Goldston just a little under pursued it. Ball was tapped out, though. Incomplete pass. 57.7 seconds left to go in the first half here. Oh, that was a dangerous ball by Goswick.
I think Goswick I think the play caller, whether it be Truesdale or whoever's making the play calls, needs to understand that Goswick, he doesn't have the arm strength right now. His arm is give out. The last 2 deep balls were well underthrown, and that's going to get you in big trouble. That almost cost them right there the chance to score before halftime, which in my opinion is critical.
And you're putting the ball in Tyshawn Goldston's hand, who is the stud player for Randleman, with open field and a whole bunch of offensive players trying to go tackle your potential D1 recruit. Not a great situation there for the Vikings. Nonetheless, they avoided it, so it'll be a 3rd and 10 here. Quick incomplete pass. I think Union Pines needs to go to some of these quicker route passes.
I agree.
Get the ball to
That's
your
right.
athletes in some space.
That's right.
Let Goswick get comfortable again throwing that ball 12, 15 yards instead of 30 yards.
That's right.
Trips formation, top of your screen. Quick pass to Biggs by a group of Tigers. Will going nowhere. That will bring up a 4th and 11 here. What is all these extra whistles for?
I'm not sure, but I tell you right now, Truesdale has a decision to make.
It'll be a timeout, Tigers.
Yep, Randleman's going to call a timeout. It's going to be 4th down. Is it 3rd or 4th?
This should be 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down. So Truesdale has a decision to make. I mean, are you going to run one last play and then hope Randleman comes back and puts a knee on it, or are you going to punt it, send them back deep?
Randleman called a timeout there. They've got one left. You don't call a timeout there unless you're planning to go after
Exactly.
it.
That's right.
And so I think it here you're taking a shot or you're punting and putting it down. Their punt game has shown that it still has room for improvement. So we will see what Truesdale does here. This is a tough situation. Do you go for it? Do you put the ball in your punter's foot? That last time I believe it went about a total of 18 yards.
And you know what? And that's only because it had a favorable bounce.
Well,
if it actually went in the air about 7 yards, and then it got about an 11-yard bounce.
Nonetheless, was 18 yards.
Glass half full, Nate.
I try to stay positive. In case someone's mother is at home listening. 4th and 11 here.
UP has always been known to having a really cool scoreboard and jumbotron.
Always.
Yep.
Always.
Yep. This year it's even improved even more.
Yeah, I don't know how much that cost, but I would imagine it was a lot.
They have a lot of good sponsors down here.
No, without a doubt. And room for more. So if you're looking to sponsor next year, there's still spaces up there. A little rich for Nathan Cochrane's blood, but not Don Clayton's. All right. Goswick back. Got trips formation at the top of your screen. Goswick back. Staring. Throws the ball to Melton. Hits the defender in the back. Number 4.
Lane
Swaim on the breakup there. Another underthrown ball by Goswick.
I mean, listen, you have to be careful. I mean, but Lane Swaim, I think it's maybe Swain, but Max Perez had Swain. Can you imagine going through high school, lame Swain?
I don't.
Don't talk about a young man like that. We're going to get fined.
I don't know. I got nothing to do with me.
All right.
That's a tough ball to throw, though. I tell you, that wheel route is a tough ball to throw.
It reminds me of Cam Newton. That's that old wheel route. It's that old wheel route.
All right. Trips formation at the top of your screen. Kirkpatrick at quarterback here. This young man's a gunslinger. Let's see what he does. Ball is up, and we've got Tigers in space. Oh, big throw there. That young man has a cannon.
He really does.
Goldson was the single receiver down on the bottom of your screen. I think they're using Goldson as a decoy at this point. Union Pines had 2 guys rolled close to him. Make sure he didn't get his hands on the ball. Left some open up at the top of your screen. Whew, that ball, 1 more yard from the wide receiver, and that ball's caught. And that ball's probably in the end zone. Brings
if
up a
not
second
in the end
and
zone,
10.
it's at least in the top, within the 5.
33 seconds left to go in this first half. Kirkpatrick, quick pass out for your screenplay. Oh, we got to step out. That will also stop the clock for a gain of about 3. This will bring up 25.6 seconds left to go in the first half. Brings up a 3rd and 7 here for the Tigers.
Nate, in your coaching days, you were a position coach. So tell the fans out there what positions you coached and what was your favorite.
So I started as an offensive line coach, rightfully so, then transitioned to running backs. And I got to call some offensive plays at some different times. And Kirkpatrick running is going to slide down inbound. The clock's going to continue running. So I definitely enjoyed the big boys because that's my passion. That's what I played.
Tackle made by there, number 5, Hayne Tobias. And so you enjoyed the line better? Is that or the running backs?
I always enjoy the offensive line. Our clock's going to hit double zeros here, so we're going to take a quick break here from our sponsors, and then we'll be back for our halftime show right after the break.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week. I apologize. I had an early call here. Randleman called a timeout. Our official scorekeeper has 0.2 seconds left to go in the half. Randleman, I would assume here, 4th and 6. They're not going for a first down. They're not going for anything other than 6, Don.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. And so you can't really blame them. I mean, why not take a shot? You know, I've never been the fan of taking a knee with 5 or 10 seconds and head into halftime. You know, why not? Take a shot. But I will tell our audience to make sure you stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Do not go to the bathroom. Do not get up, go get popcorn. Stay tuned for halftime because we've got a great halftime show brought to you by
Remax.
Remax halftime show. And then we're going to have the legend himself, Tim Hare.
Interviewed by Don Clayton. Kirkpatrick steps back. He's starting to scramble. Union Pines chasing, pursuing. He turns back, looking. There are not many men in high school that can throw that ball. The ball has a chance to be intercepted. Nonetheless, it is broken up. Now the clock says double zeros. Definitely no timeouts now. So we will hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we will be back for the Remax halftime show.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with Remax Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit pinehursttoyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
Welcome to the Remax Real Estate Service halftime show brought to you by New Image Media, only on the NFHS Network.
Welcome back here at Cameron, North Carolina, Will Hoyt Stadium as your Union Pines Vikings take on the Randleman Tigers. Rough first half here for the Vikings. Randleman up 24, Union Pines 6. Definitely not the start that Union Pines wanted to have here. Don, talk to us a little bit about that real quick.
You know, we talked about it at the pregame show that Union Pines really needed to stay in this ball game for at least the first half, if not the first 3 quarters. Randleman a little bit short, not dressing as many tonight, and so therefore they may get a little gassed, may start cramping up in the second half and give Union Pines an opportunity to come back in this ball game. Nonetheless, it's still within reach.
Still within reach.
It's not out of reach yet, so it's still within reach. However, as you mentioned early in the second quarter, Randleman does get the ball to begin the second half.
Yeah, Union Pines coming out. A couple things they're going to have to do. They're going to have to start completing the short pass. They started living with the deep ball early. They found success, and I don't think the quarterback's arm is quite there right now. I think he's having a hard time reading those long balls. Tyshawn Golson has started hammering down on Ethan Biggs, who, of course, is the real deep threat here for Union Pines. We're going to have to see kind of a mind shift on play calling and how they progress forward, making sure they're getting those short passes, getting some confidence back in their quarterback. And we need to see a heavy dose of Melton. We really need to see heavy dose of Melton. Randleman's doing a lot good right now. Tyshawn Golston is as good as advertised. We had the one-armed catch taken for almost 80 yards there early. I guess it was late first quarter. That young man is as good of a receiver as I've seen so far this year. So really excited to watch him. Kirkpatrick has an arm. That young man can sling it. Coming back, Randleman just needs to keep doing what they're doing. If I was them, I would hammer down on big, send one over the top, take away the deep ball, make him beat me with a short pass.
I like it. Folks, stay tuned. We're going to be right back with country music legend Tim Hare. He'll be here, interviewed. Give us about 1 minute, and he'll be here live.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to make dreams come true.
Remax Real Estate Service, this is Travis. You need to sell your house right away? I'm on the way. All in a day's work.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
So as we know, my partner, the play-by-play tonight, Nate Cochrane, was an all-time wide receiver at Lee County High School and one of the record breakers there at Lee County High School. When he played high school, he was 5'9" and weighed 163 pounds, but, man, he could catch that ball and run it. But here with us tonight is not only the country music legend Tim Hare, but he also, did you know that country music legend Tim Hare also played high school football in the state of North Carolina for Clinton? Tell us a little bit about your high school career, Tim, and a little bit about your stats and how you give us why did you decide not to go to the pro level and choose country music instead?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the reason I didn't go to the pro level because I'm only like 5'7".
Oh, well, Bryce Young is 5'6", and he made it.
Well, this was back in the 80s.
Okay.
Way back in the 80s when I played high school football. And career-wise, I played 4 years, 81 through 85. At one time, we had the longest regular season win streak in the state of North Carolina. We were 40-0 regular season-wise.
You're telling me that you played high school football in 1981 to 1985?
Yes, sir, I did.
Wow, how old are you?
I'm an old guy, man. I'm 56.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were that old.
Yeah,
and still a ladies' man.
I'm that old, man.
Wow. So give all the ladies your number.
No, let's don't do that
okay.
tonight.
So,
how about Nate's?
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. Hey, listen, thank you for being here with us tonight.
No problem,
we would like to have some autographs and things of that nature later on. But real quick, tell us your favorite play in high school.
My favorite play in high school was actually triple option.
Triple option was your favorite play?
Loved it. You could hide the ball. You never knew who was going to get it. Triple
so
option.
Standing 5'6", were you a rushing quarterback?
I had to be.
Yeah.
Didn't have a choice.
Run for your life.
Run for your life. Got hit every play.
Tim, thanks for being here with us tonight.
Welcome. Thank you.
He's also our volunteer cameraman tonight. Folks, we're going to take a real quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to be able to watch the award-winning Union Pike and Vikings marching band.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Lamco Homes, from concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes, our standards are others' options.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trogdon, and we are First Bank.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to make dreams come true.
RE/MAX Real Estate Service, this is Travis. You need to sell your house right away? I'm on the way. All in a day's work.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with the caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Lamco Homes. From concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trogdon, and we are First Bank.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
All right, Union Pines getting ready to kick off. Dribbler down the field. Hops over the head of number 7. He's going to pick it up on the 4-yard line, looking for green space. There is a clan of Vikings.
No, it's not a clan.
I don't like saying that.
It's not a clan. We discussed this earlier, Nate.
What was it? I apologize.
I don't.
Too many concussions from running over the middle.
Too many concussions as a wide receiver.
Receiver.
Matthew Sykes, all right, that's number 44 who made a big play on special teams. Okay, Nate, now.
What was it? All right.
This is not over, all right? We have a full half of football to play, 24 full minutes. A lot can happen in 24 minutes. But it's got to stop right here, right now, with a UP stop.
Right. Union Pines needs to have a quick 3 and out for Randleman here, or a turnover. Turnover would be great. First play of the series, ball carried by number 12, Edison Hernandez. He's going to juke and jive and weave his way all the way up to the 24-yard line for a gain of 6 there. Going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Tigers.
So as a coach, Nate, when the kids go in at halftime, they're down by 18. They're playing a superior opponent. What do you tell the kids? What do you tell your O-line when you're at halftime?
We find small little details to focus on with small little victories. All right, today we're, the second half, I really want you to focus on this. I really want you to focus on that. Not so much to give a moral victory, but if you say, we have to do 800 of these things right to beat them, you're going to lose. You're going to
lose them, yeah.
Right? So you need to find little, small, minute details. We need to pick up the 8-gap blitz better. Let's work on that. Something to get them motivated.
That's good. Now, do you say, would that also apply to just trying to motivate a team? They come in the first half, they're down by 18. They're demotivated. Their heads are down. You have to. I would say probably at the cusp, you have to kind of come up with something off the cuff to get their heads back in the game.
Right. And that's a very hard thing to do. Ball was way underthrown to number 1, Tyshawn Goldston. Union Pines had a chance to pick that off. Number 5, Hayne Tobias with a chance.
Yeah, that was absolutely a lost opportunity, and those opportunities do not come very often. And when they do come, you really need to capitalize. And unfortunately, Tobias did not capitalize. That ball literally went right through his hands.
Some scores from around the conference going into halftime. The Lee County Yellow Jackets 14. Panther Creek coming in to Sanford, North Carolina 0-2. Up by 2, 16-14 leading.
That's a very interesting game. I cannot wait to see the outcome of that ball game. I also have a Southern Lee update. So it is in the fourth quarter there. That was an early kickoff at 7 p.m. Southern Lee on top of Fairmont Tornadoes, 34-0.
I love it. Glad to hear that. Scotland County also up on Jack Britt, 27-13 with about 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. So right about the same time frame as we are. And last but not least, in the third quarter, about 5 minutes left to go in the third, Pinecrest 28, New Hanover 3. Some big scores around the Sandhills 3A, 4A conference. There's the ball handoff to number 12. Oh, he is still running. That young man runs the ball aggressively. I love it. Number 12, Edison Hernandez on the carry. Toe to the rock all the way down to the Union Pines Vikings 36, 37-yard line.
And our boy, number 2, Austin Mooring, obviously not happy, but you have to be careful there, Austin, because he could have gotten a personal foul. He basically slammed him down out of bounds, and the referees kept that flag in their pocket, which I like.
But it's rare in today's game. Very, very rare. Nonetheless, this will be a rematch. Nope, sorry, not a rematch. A Shed Depot first down for the Tigers.
Nate, what would you say would be a bad game as far as penalties as a coach? Would you say 5, 10? I mean, when it got to a certain number, what number was it when you were just absolutely shaking your head?
Anything over 50 yards. It wasn't so much the number of penalties, it was the total yardage penalties.
Understood.
It's where those penalties happened.
Understood. Last week, we were at, Southern Lee was at Eastern Randolph. They racked up a total of 24 penalties.
Oh, my gosh.
24.
That is.
I don't even know the yardage, but it was
one
a lot.
every 2 minutes. That is obscene. Trips formation of the wide side of the field, the top of your screen for those of you watching at home. Kirkpatrick trying to draw the Vikings off sides. He's going to call a timeout. Nope. He's going to call an audible. Head coach Shane Timmons changing the play from the sideline. Union Pines going to stick in their base cover 2 here. Quick slant throw to number 7. Popped.
Nice.
Omari Ferdinand on the catch there.
Nice play. Also another tackle there by Austin Mooring. And also in on the tackle coming in is number 15 for Union Pines, Lawson Fields.
That will be another Shed Depot first down for the Randleman Tigers, all the way down to the 14-yard line. And that puts us into the Remax red zone. Kirkpatrick going under center here with the I formation. Running power to number 5, Micah Thurston. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling all the way in.
What footwork, Mr. Nate. Did you see that footwork from that young man? I will tell you right now, that looked almost kind of like the Emmitt Smith of old.
Oh, wow. High praise there from Mr. Don Clayton. Nonetheless, that is a Randleman touchdown. That will put them up 30. That's a difference of 24 points with Mr. McLeod coming on for a PAT to make it 31-6. I have to wonder with Kirkpatrick back there as a holder if they have some sort of fake set up eventually. Kick is up. Kick is good. Obviously not going to need it tonight.
No, they're not going to need it tonight. And so with 8 minutes and 48 seconds, it's 31-6 Randleman. Now, again, not completely over, but I would say that it's pretty critical for Union Pines to take very little time off the clock and go down and score a touchdown. Where you say, Don, that's Captain Obvious. But if they can do that and then perhaps score a 2-point conversion, they are right back within 2 scores of this ball game.
Right. Very good. Wait a minute. Say that again.
Which part?
Run those numbers again.
Might be 3 scores, but
okay.
Let's go to commercial break.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, 14 minus 31 is 17.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold.
Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week.
Our producer Brandon just completely took us out.
Saved by our producer Brandon.
Yeah.
He can jump out of plane, and I'm going to throw countries and save us from looking idiotic.
Yeah, and save the station some potential fines.
All right. Biggs back there to catch it. Caught it. I don't think that is Biggs. Is that Biggs? It is.
Yeah.
Looks like he slipped on that evening dew all the way down to the Union Pines 4-yard line. A lot of kids walking around here with Budweiser cowboy hats tonight.
It's some type of a theme. I'm trying to figure it out. It's maybe a cowboy theme, perhaps?
Maybe. Who knows? I didn't know kids were allowed to wear Budweiser hats at school nowadays.
What, did they actually say Budweiser?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Huh. Maybe it's
not going to get into the political discussion of Anheuser-Busch.
No.
But
Miller.
Rock and roll on the Budweiser cowboy hats.
Miller Lite. Oh, this could be a safety.
This is going to be.
That's a safety.
This is going to be 2. Yep. This is worst case scenario for the Vikings. Is. That makes it 33 Randleman, 6 Union Pines. That is worst case scenario. Toss to Melton.
So you Nate.
Yes, sir.
33-6.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
We're not quite midway. Now they're going to get a free kick. Randleman's going to get the ball, and UP is going to have a free kick here. So we saw what the punter, the punter, number 20. We do not have his name. He had about a 9-yard kick in the air, then it had a good bounce.
Yes.
Do you maybe bring him out again, even with this score? Or do you try someone else? Maybe their other kicker that we've been mentioning all night.
I don't know. What do you do at this point, Don? I'm not 100% sure.
And that begs this question, and that is, as a coach, when the game is getting out of hand, what are you telling your kids to go out there and stay competitive? Because if they don't go out and stay competitive, Nate, worst case, bad case they're going to lose. Bad. Worst case they're going to get hurt.
Right.
If they're not out there focused, how as a coach, when things aren't going their way and games getting out of control, how do you keep them focused on what they need to do so they don't get hurt?
Small victories, right? Small victories is you want to go out and you want to win a possession. You want to go out and you want to win a series. You want to win a quarter. Little things like this, because at this point you know the outcome of this ball game. We say that. We've seen some wild things happen. You know the high probability of the outcome of this ball game, and you also start working on things for the following week, right? It's stuff that, or if you want to do a little bit of counterintelligence, you start throwing some random stuff out there that you're not planning on using next week, but you're going to make Lee County plan for it. So there's 2 methodologies here. I always went for the let's get some small victories, right?
I like that.
Ball fielded by number 1, Thurston Goldston. That young man is itching to get back into the end zone. He's going to take it all the way up to the Union Pines Vikings 41-yard line, 42-yard line. I must say I will give it to Coach Shane Timmons from the Randleman Vikings. In all my years of coaching, I don't think I ever taught lining up for after a safety. I don't think one time did I teach it, and those kids walked right out and knew exactly where to go.
They absolutely.
So that's one of those little things as a coach you catch, and you're like, well, they definitely practice that because kids don't magically just do things.
Yep.
You got to practice it. So
absolutely
applaud Coach Timmons because I never did that.
And the good news for Randleman is Goldston has another year of eligibility.
Does he really?
Yep.
Man, that's awesome. Number 12, Hernandez on the carry, taken down on the Vikings 38-yard line for a gain of 4. Will bring up 2nd and 6 there.
So here's another question. So, again, Randleman driving here. They're not taking they're really kind of in a hurry-up offense right now. Looks like they're trying to eat a little bit of a clock.
Quick handoff to the fullback, number 31 for the Tigers, Dalen Atkins.
So this is also an opportunity here, Coach Nate, where at Union Pines you can put in some of your younger players and get them some reps.
No, not yet.
Nope.
You don't do that to the fourth quarter.
Okay. Good. Now, so is that a standard thought process, or is it something like?
Yeah, that's always one of those things. It was something I was taught very early in my coaching career, and I never met anyone who varied off it. You did not start substituting heavy until the fourth quarter.
Gotcha.
Or until you go to a running clock.
Got it.
Which in the state of North Carolina, if it's
42.
still the same, I believe it's 42.
42.
That'll be another Randleman first down here. They're pounding the eye right up into the cargo hold of the Vikings.
I like their play calling right here. No reason to put it back up in the air, take a chance of just blowing out Union Pines at home. I like Coach Timmons is what he's doing here, running out the clock, running the ball. They're having success with it. Why stop it?
Right. Show some class here from Coach Timmons. Well, we say that, and they run a bootleg.
Yeah.
Toss up to Thurston Goldston, broken up there by a group of Vikings.
But, again, there's a flag in the backfield, probably holding. Yep.
Holding. So this is one of those penalties that we talked about yardage penalties, not so much number penalties. This is going to be a huge penalty. This will end up being a 15-yard penalty for the Tigers because it is from the spot of the foul. So it's 10 yards back from the spot, and they were already 5 to 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And I'm going to tell you, as a fan of football, because I'm a fan first, as a fan of football, that is my least favorite call because it will eat up yardage, and a lot of times it's ticky-tack.
I'm not sure why they moved that back 5. It's 10,
But do you agree with that, though? It's the most frustrating call, not only as a penalty, as a fan, as a coach, but as a player. A lot of times it's just ticky-tack.
Right.
And it eats up – it's at least 10 yards on every time, but that one it was 5.
Am I going crazy? Is it? It's usually a 10-yard, right?
That's what I say, 10-yard, yeah.
Okay. Hernandez on the carry there, rumbling. Oh, my goodness, that young man runs the ball aggressive. He will run it all the way up to the 27-yard line of the Vikings, will bring up a 3rd and 8.
A 3rd and 8, and I will say that, and I agree with you, I love that neon yardage marker. That's really cool. Easy for us, right? It's 2nd down. But I will say there's not a loss of down in that first penalty. But I will say this. I wish I knew the name of the kid because he deserves recognition that not only plays football for UP but also is in the marching band.
That young man could flat tap his toes well.
Yes, he could. I wish I knew his name, and I might try to find it out because he does deserve some recognition.
Kirkpatrick with another boot. Running, dumps it out. Underthrown there to number 20 of the Randleman Tigers. A pass attempt to number 20, Gregory Price. We've got another flag, illegal man downfield for the Randleman Tigers. Sorry, an eligible receiver. Illegal man downfield, same thing. Same thing.
Absolute beautiful weather tonight. This is really it's maybe a tad bit warm for great football weather, but it's good football weather, right? You might want maybe another 10 degrees cooler for great football weather, but I would say it's good football weather.
Fall is knocking on the door. It's not here yet, but it is knocking on the door. And from a very selfish standpoint, as of right now, I am home through a fall. I have not had a true fall at home in 5 years.
Good
so
for you.
I am looking forward to some cool weather and, fall start on number 1, Tyshawn Goldston. Another penalty here. Ball game getting sloppy here. 5 3/4 minutes through this third quarter. 6:12 left to go.
And as always, the marching band takes off the third quarter of every football game. That's pretty standard across high school sports.
Unless you're in Texas. Did you go down to Texas? Your daughter was cheerleading at the time.
She was.
If I remember correctly.
Yes, the cheerleaders did not go to Texas. It was only the football team.
You are completely wrong on that.
No, the cheerleaders did not go.
Because I rode on the bus with the cheerleaders.
Well, she must not have been cheering at that moment. But that was Don Simon.
That was 2015 because I rode on the bus with the cheerleaders.
Yes. My oldest daughter was attending, but she was not a cheerleader. My middle daughter was cheering, but she didn't start cheering until under Coach Ken Neal.
Oh, okay. So I had your daughter's age mixed up there. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. I did have a daughter going there under Don Simon, but she did not cheer.
I was about to say, I rode 20 hours on a bus with cheerleaders.
Yeah, how in the world did you even survive?
Me, Jeffrey Cook, if you remember Coach Jeff Cook, was a big defensive line coach, and Justin, and I apologize, Justin, I don't remember what his last name is. He was our athletic trainer. We got stuck as the football representatives on the cheerleader bus. And we watched that cheerleading movie that was popular in the late 90s, early 30s. Bring It On, I believe it was.
Early 30s.
We watched it for, 20 hours.
I couldn't have done it.
I will tell you, though, the bus with the cheerleaders smelled a lot nicer by the end of the journey than the bus with the football players did. Okay. So, anyways.
Yeah, that's you deserve an award for that, Nate.
No. Ball is
intercepted. There is
We've
a
got
flag.
Another flag, late flag.
After the interception. The interception will stand. It will be UP ball.
It's another illegal man downfield.
So they will decline it.
Sorry, ineligible receiver. Got to get my vernacular right. It is declined. That is a Viking turnover. They will take over on the 8-yard line. 9-yard line. We talked earlier about this Union Pines defense getting small victories. That's a victory. They got down to almost the red zone and then forced a turnover.
Yes, absolutely a victory, although they're starting deep in their own territory.
Last time we saw
it's
this.
It's what we call a reverse Remax red zone.
Goswick under center here. Toss to Melton. They tried this last time. Milton gets all the way up to the 17-yard line.
Nice ball security.
It'll be another first down brought to you by Shed Depot. So Viking first down. Gives their quarterback Goswick a little bit more room to play with. Well blocked there by the Union Pines Vikings.
So, Nate, we were able to, at halftime, talk to one of the Union Pines offensive coordinators, and he was mentioning about Goswick and going vertical after this run here by Caleb Milton. And he was telling us that that Goswick has the arm. He has the arm strength. And so he was just getting up underneath it, kind of throwing off his back foot. You know, that's something that Cam Newton had problems with. But that's the reason why all those balls were underthrown is because he was throwing off his back foot. And so he coached him up a little bit. But even still, in the second half, I don't think he's gone vertical more than 30 yards yet.
No, I believe not. When you're throwing off your back foot, all of your power when you're throwing a ball comes from your hips. Everyone thinks it comes from your arms. It actually comes from your hips. And it's being able to get your hips turned. Oh, bad pick there from Goswick. What a play there by number 20 of the Randleman Tigers, Gregory Price.
And I said, Greg Price has been everywhere tonight. He plays fullback, tight end, middle linebacker.
We do have a flag out right at the 21-yard line.
After the interception.
Let's see what in the world this is. Anyways, we were saying the power from a quarterback comes from his hips, not his arm.
Yeah.
And when you drop that back shoulder and you launch it up, you have no hip turn. Let's see what they have.
Block in the back.
Well, people who play defense aren't usually used to blocking.
That's
so
great. But let me tell you,
happens.
Let me tell you this. We probably need to take a quick break, but this is something to think about when we come back from commercial break. If you've been playing football for any length of period of time, from Pee Wee, Pop Warner.
Yeah.
Don't hit somebody in the back.
Is
it that difficult, Nate, really, when you're on the field and you see someone's back turned to you and you push them? You know it's wrong. Are you trying to get away with it, or are you just that dumb?
Well, I don't think dumb has anything to do with it. It happens. I will say it happens.
Well, you have no explanation for it, though. That's the problem, Nate. It's called too often.
Tyshawn Goldston back in the Wildcat, hands off number 12. Hernandez in the jet motion ends up fighting back to get to a loss of 1.
So I take it back. So why does Randleman have the ball right now? So I'm confused.
So it was a block in the back, so that's after the interception. That was after the possession change. One of the Randleman defenders who had turned offenders because there was a possession change blocked a Union Pines in the back.
I'm thinking Union Pines interception. I'm out of it right now. Got it.
Thurston goes up, throws it. Oh, almost picked off again. That would have been a wild three sets of downs to have 3 interceptions.
But, I mean, I'm still going back to the whole block in the back thing. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you hit somebody in the back, Nate.
Well, a lot of it is not necessary. It's not as simple as, like, someone's in front of you at food line and you push them in the back.
Well,
right?
Why not?
So a lot of it is your head positioning. So if you're going to attack half a man, which is something you teach every time, you're taught to put your head in the front chest of them so you can get around them, right? A lot of times, especially in open field, you're going to attack that half man, and they do some sort of move. All of a sudden, your head ends up on the back side of them, on their back plate. That's a block in the back. So it's not nearly as simple. It's not food line pushing down grandma with a cart. There's a lot more to it.
That's the academic part of Nate I was looking for.
Okay.
No longer do I don't have an answer for that. Or, Don, I don't think it's because they're dumb, but we're going to move on anyways. I want a good, solid answer.
You want a solid academic
and that
answer.
was one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I now concur with you, sir.
All right, 1st and 10 here on the 21-yard line for the Tigers. Don's getting riled up over here. I have to get that box back out he's been standing on during the halftime show.
What box? Tim was standing on a box.
Line to gain is the 11-yard line. Kirkpatrick hands it off number 12, Hernandez. He's bumbling his way all the way up to the 15, 16-yard line there. We'll bring up a 2nd and 5 here for the Tigers.
So, Nate, let's talk. This we don't have much of a ball game here right now.
Right.
We may in a minute. So tell me, who is your favorite to win the ACC Coastal and the ACC Atlantic, and what do you think about moving the playoffs to a 12-game playoff?
It is too early for me to make a long-term projection on the ACC.
Oh, so there's no more Atlantic Coastal. They all are together now. That is so. Who's your top 2 in that? Now Clemson, they just got shellacked by Duke.
I'd love to see Chapel Hill and Florida State duke it out, and I think those are the 2 teams to beat.
What about Raleigh?
What about it?
What about Raleigh?
It's our state capital.
What about Raleigh and Durham?
I mean, I said what I said.
What about Winston-Salem?
I said what I said. I said, and I'm not a Chapel Hill fan, for the record.
Are you a Raleigh fan?
I am. I'm a Campbell-Campbell's fan because that's where I went to school.
Well, that's.
But no, I do think I grew up going to Raleigh. My uncle played football at NC State.
You mean Raleigh?
So I grew up an NC State fan. But
seriously,
I think the conference is Chapel Hill and Florida State's.
Yeah,
to duke it out.
You think so?
I thought Florida State looked daggum good against that. Against LSU.
I was really surprised at how poor Clemson looked, though.
They looked terrible.
Yeah.
I've been working on my Duolingo Spanish.
It looks good. I like it. We are a bilingual TV station.
Tigers getting ready to punch one in here. They're getting stopped right at Union Pines motioning that they got the ball. Let's take a look at the side judge. A Union Pines man walked out with the ball. None of them even seem to notice that the ball's not at the spot of the tackle. Whitehat's looking for the ball. Hey, give me that ball.
He just threw it over his head. Yeah.
Anyways,
who is that anyway?
Back judge number 15 for the Union Pines Vikings.
So right now we have a 4-team playoff. Or what do you think about going? Are we at an 8-team playoff or a 14 still? College.
We're at 8 now, I believe.
Yeah. Now, are you a fan of going to 12?
I am not. I don't think there's 12 truly competitive teams left.
Yeah,
I think 8's even a stretch.
But let me ask you this, and this is a serious question, okay? Here's my problem with it. The whole bowl situation, not the playoffs, but the bowl situation, is the opt-out clause.
Okay.
I understand it. I get it.
Uh-huh.
Carolina last year could have beat Oregon if they had their best players.
All right, let's TV time out here. We just had the end of the third quarter. We'll bring back this discussion on the playoff and bowls after a quick word from our sponsors.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Welcome back to the beginning of the fourth quarter of your NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Legacy Construction. Union Pines having a hard night here against the Randleman Tigers. Randleman up 33, Union Pines 6. All right, Don.
Yeah,
bowl games opt-out. Let's hear it, baby.
What are your thoughts on that? I get it for the kid. I understand that. But what's the point of playing a bowl game if you're not going to have your entire team there of eligible players?
You are not going to like my answer.
I don't know if I've liked them all night.
Well, that's okay. I'm used to that. We haven't liked each other for 10 years.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's not true at all.
Don't lie to
That's not true at all. I actually 100% support the opt-out clause because bowl games at this point are only about making money. It's all it is.
So why play it? It's for the corporation. It's for the schools.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Yes, sir.
For the schools, bowl games are nothing more than making money.
That's right.
If a school if a player decides, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and declare for the draft, I'm going to start training, I 100% support that because at this point, college athletics is all about money. Nothing else, plain and simple.
Do you think money is ruining the sport?
Yes.
Are you in favor of the NIL?
I was when it started. I am not anymore. I think it went too far. Now, you're also getting the opinion of someone who, for a time, was a college athlete. So I competed at the Division I level. And so I knew exactly what time commitment it was. That's going to be a Randleman touchdown, taking it to 39-6. If I had not come from a middle to upper middle class family, where I was very lucky my parents were able to continue to support me, I would have had no options on how do you buy clothes. Now, yes, the school's going to give you some clothes, right? They're going to give you some jogging clothes. Okay, so you get to be a senior. You've put on 50 pounds of bulk weight because that's what every college program wants you to do. Now you got to go get a job interview. How in the world do you buy a shirt and tie? If you come from a poor family that you don't have two nickels to rub together, how do you buy a shirt and tie?
That's a good point.
And I will have this discussion with anyone because I have received those phone calls from young men that said, Coach, I need a shirt and tie.
Yep.
And I went and bought them a shirt and tie.
Yep.
So
I don't think you're going to get much argument on that. But you said that you do not like the way that it has evolved. To give me an example.
I think it's gotten too far, right? I think there should be some way to cap it. Some of these athletes, and I get it, right? Everyone gets their 10 seconds of fame. If you can get it, get it. But some of these athletes of obscure sports making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, hey, I'm happy for them. Make it while you can. But at the same time, it's gotten too far. And how long before Nike says, okay, so-and-so Tyshawn Goldston, we'll go ahead and sign a $20 million name and likeness deal if you go play at Oregon.
So,
how long before that happens? Because at that point, you're just buying kids.
Great point. And we're going to take a commercial timeout, pay some bills. But when we come back, I want to ask you if you think that at some point the NIL is going to trickle down to high school sports. But before you answer, we'll take a quick timeout.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week here at Will Hoyt Stadium. I do want to put a disclaimer on our statement before we went to a break. I know of nothing of Nike or any other corporation offering that much money to anybody for any reason, nor saying you have to go to certain schools to sign NILs. I know nothing of any of that. So that was purely a made-up example off the top of my head. So please, Nike lawyers, don't call me. I don't have enough money to fight you.
And trust me, folks, that is for certain. He was a school teacher. So
I cannot take on Nike.
So as we see another touchback by Randleman. So do you believe now, take North Carolina out of it. That's where we are, where we're from. But you look at states like Texas and Florida.
Right.
Do you believe there is a point in time where the NIL will trickle down to high school athletics? And if it does, is it going to be on a state level or will it be on a national level?
I don't know if it'll ever trickle down to your state and to your high school levels because many high schools have contracts with certain brands already, right? So I believe Union Pines is an Adidas school, I believe. Now, don't hold me to that.
Southern Lee's a Nike school.
Southern Lee's a Nike school, right? So at this point, these manufacturers, these companies, these corporations already have contracts with the schools themselves. Now, could Ford come in and say, hey, so-and-so, we want to give you $10 million if you go play football at, Cardinal Gibbons High School?
And they're
purely made up. I don't know anything about anything.
No, but
could it happen? It could.
They're out there talking to kids that are 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. It's being done as we speak.
It is being done. How do you stop it? I don't know.
Well, you make it legal. Like the NIL. Because it happened before the NIL was a thing. It was happening.
Right. Or you go to a European model where NFL teams have farm systems that they start at 18 and you get college athletics completely out of it and you have lower tier, you do it like Europe does soccer.
Good point. And that is an option.
And that's an option. And that's actually not an option I hate. Because let's be real, college athletes, the name college athlete came out basically to reduce liability on the schools for workers' comp claims. That was highlighted in all sorts of different documentaries. So, for those of us that did it, if you had a lab or you had practice, you went to practice. If you had a test or you had to go to a whatever sport event you had to, you skipped the test. You can't tell me there was no, college comes first. No, that's a load of baloney.
There is an exception perhaps to some Ivy League schools, but for the majority public schools, you are correct.
Right.
Flag on the play as Union Pines is trying to drive, but there's a holster that's going to back them up more. It's going to be second down on the country mile. But, no, I do agree with you. It's a very difficult situation. Money is changing a lot of things, not only in college sports but also high school sports and obviously the NFL. And in baseball, it's just absolutely unbelievable. And it's just you could make an argument that it's a capitalist society. Therefore, if companies are willing to pay it, people are willing to accept it.
Why not, right?
Why not?
I don't know.
But I don't think we're going to go backwards, Nate. I think it's just going to continue to progress in this way.
Where does it go? How many more years before football gets rid of the kickoff? Who knows?
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's coming.
I believe it is.
All right. There's your bubble screen there. Oh, my goodness.
That's going to be targeting.
That's going to be targeting. Number 10 there on the tackle, Thomas R. DeBias for the Tigers.
That will come with an injection, more than likely.
Hit on number 14, Ethan Biggs.
And sometimes the aftermath of the hit looks worse than the actual hit itself. I don't necessarily think that was the case on this one. Yep. And he should be disqualified, right, Nate?
I think it's a discretion. I do think they haven't signaled though.
No, I don't think he was disqualified. So
nope.
It'd be 1st and 10 for UP. I think some of the UP fans were confused because they were booing. I think they thought that maybe that was called on them.
Shane Timmons there not happy on the sideline. Rightfully so. You got to fight for your kids.
The next thing that Union Pines has got to do is they got to get a sponsor out here to bring up some replay on that Jumbotron, which is probably illegal in high school.
It is. State of North Carolina does not allow replay of any kind due to the disparity of some schools could have the potential and some schools couldn't. But I think for the fans and for us watching it, it would make life a lot easier.
A lot more fun.
A lot more fun. Give us something to talk about.
Agreed. So, again, the paratroopers in the beginning, that was super cool. We were doing our pregame, so we really didn't get to see it a lot. But if you missed it, go back and watch the beginning of the game. And I think we got some footage of it, did we not? Yep, producer Brandon says we
Number
did.
14, Caleb Milton, juking and jiving his way up. I think he ran about 30 yards for a 2-yard gain there. I like the fight left in this Mr. Caleb Milton. An exciting kid to watch.
Definitely. Ethan Biggs checking back in.
He says, Coach, I don't have a concussion.
So where is our brother in crime, Chris DeLambert?
Chris DeLambert
Esquire.
and
Jerry Chalmers. Are they at Lee County?
At Lee County tonight watching Panther Creek. Whoa, ball's thrown out there to Biggs. Biggs dives for it just short. Some local scores from around the conference. Panther Creek still leads Lee County 16-14. Scotland is currently tied with Jack Britt 27-27.
That's good.
With 2 minutes left to go in the third. Jack Britt making a comeback. Pinecrest keeps piling on New Hanover. Pinecrest 35, New Hanover 3. I don't know what these young men are trying to holler at us, but I'm not entertained.
Southern Lee is, I believe that final there is 34-0 over the Fairmont Tornadoes.
Big start for the Cavaliers.
3-1.
Starting 3-1. It has been a long time since they started 3-1. Ball's thrown out there.
And I must say their only loss came to Eastern Randolph, which is, they got a state championship under their belt. That's a strong program.
Daggum good program. Do I remember correctly that Burton Cates is the head coach at Eastern Randolph?
Yes, I believe you are correct.
I believe he is the second winningest coach in North Carolina State history.
Did he go back to Eastern Randolph?
Yes, he did.
Then that would be correct. Yes, he coached at Lee County for about 7 years and then went back. He came from Eastern Randolph, I believe won a championship there, and then came to Lee County and then went back to Eastern Randolph. So I believe he is still there, Nate.
I believe he's chasing the coach from Clinton who has the most wins in North Carolina State history, who I'm sure our local country star Tim Hare knew or played for.
Yep.
So
that's right. I'm still
and I don't know how many games he has left to catch him.
I still don't understand the point of why Tim. Tim Hare had scholarship offers at Notre Dame, and
I believe he actually played at Elon University.
Oh, was it Elon? Well, he turned Notre Dame down and went to Elon.
Well, I mean, the Phoenix is a great school.
Elon is a very good school.
And it's a beautiful campus.
Beautiful. Nate, you read my mind. I was going to say the exact same thing.
Number 33, rumbling that ball all the way down. Ty Moulton.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely a beautiful campus.
Yeah.
It really is. Elon University. Now, their mascot is what?
The Phoenix.
Yeah, you just said it.
Because the majority of their campus burned
down
and they rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what they were before the Phoenixes. That was before my time. The Christians.
How about that?
That's
unique.
I was recruited to play at Elon. Ended up not happening. Beautiful school, though.
Yeah.
Beautiful school. Nice little stadium they've got there. Handoff back to Ty Moulton.
Ooh, that didn't look
wrapped
good.
up from behind one of those old-fashioned gator roll tackles that were made famous by the University of Florida for about 4 years until every running back knees got blown out and people decided they were going to stop doing that.
Number 53, Sincere Bonner with the stop there for defensive end. No, he is a senior.
And number 33, Ty Moulton, who just got rolled up that way, is wobbling off the field. Looks like his knee's hurting.
I think
probably.
It's Ty Moton.
Moton. I apologize to Mr. and Mrs. Moton if you're at home watching.
Okay, question. Breaking the action. So East Coast, we've got, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. You're not going to bed till 12, 1 o'clock. And if your team's playing, you're riled up. It's going to be hard to kind of settle down and go to bed. Would you rather stay up super late watching a football game that you have a sincere interest in, or would you rather be on the West Coast and watch it starting at 6:30 where you can be in bed at a decent hour?
So I will tell you, I get to do a lot of work in the Central Time Zone. I do a lot of work in the state of Louisiana, which is 1 hour behind us, and I love watching evening sporting events 1 hour behind because, Monday Night Football is going off at 10:30 instead of 11:30.
Yeah, or midnight. I mean, a lot of times it goes to midnight.
Right. So that makes it very convenient. I haven't watched a lot of sports all the way on the West Coast. I don't make my way out there very often.
So my buddy said that's from California. He said, Don, we love night games. We love them because they start here at 6 o'clock or 6:30. It's perfect. But Sunday at 1 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock there, right.
And, it
makes for an early tailgate.
Yeah, very. And if you're in Philly, you're tailgating Saturday afternoon for a 10 a.m. start on Sunday.
Right.
So I do agree with all that. But a very interesting set of circumstances here for Union Pines. Okay, so they go in. They're going to go into conference play next week at Lee County. Lee County right now could be 500, Nate. They actually could be 2-2.
Right.
With UP coming in at 1-3. What you've seen out of this UP squad. Have you called a Lee County game this year?
I have. I called Lee County's first game of the year.
Okay, so give us a little bit of a pregame synopsis of what you've seen so far tonight and what you saw against Lee County heading into next week.
Are you asking me to make a prediction?
I don't want a prediction.
Okay.
I just we're going to go to a running clock now. I don't want a prediction. Maybe the fans do. If you want to give one, go for it. But what I'm looking for is what's the tell of the tape? If you just look at the numbers and the eye test, give me the eye test. What does the eye test tell you? Is it going to be a close game? Is it going to be a good matchup? Is it going to be a blowout one way? What is the eye test?
If Union Pines can contain B.J. Brown and keep him in the backfield, then they've got a fighting chance. They've got a puncher's chance. If they let B.J. get out in space, that ball game gets real over real quick.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
It all comes down, can you contain B.J.? Do you know these kids? Okay. All right.
So right now we've got 5 minutes, 47 seconds, and it is now going to be a running clock. It's going to be 46-6, so that's 42 points. And once they hit that 42-point spread, it automatically, no matter what happens in the score, it's going to continue to be a running clock.
Right. You can't eliminate yourself from a running clock. Once it's there, it's there. 5:41 left to go. This will go pretty quick after they start the running clock. After this possession here, this PAT. I didn't even see who scored that touchdown. I apologize for all of our fans at home.
So after this PAT, we're going to go to a quick timeout, commercial break, and it is good. So, Chris, we've got 5 minutes, 41 seconds to go here in the game, 47-6. We are going to be on a running clock. And actually, no, we're not going to be on a running clock.
Nope, because it's 41.
That always happens.
1 point short.
That always happens that way.
As always, math is hardest for Mr. Don Clayton.
I know that is true. Well, I'm not in academia like you are, Mr. Cochrane. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial timeout. Be right back.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Come back to the NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Legacy Construction. We're having too much fun up here tonight in Cameron, North Carolina.
Always.
It is always a pleasure to come down here and call a game with y'all. Always a pleasure. Tim Hare on the camera, Tim Kopis, the head honcho, the CEO, the CFO.
And what about our
the
producer?
COO, the producer, Brandon, Mr. Jumps Out of Airplanes, doing a great job for us, as always. He is my favorite producer to work for. Don't tell Win. Oh,
Win must be,
there's going to be a 15-yarder after the play.
Win must be at Lee County tonight.
Win is at Lee County tonight. Wynn is at Lee County tonight. Great guy. Love Wynn to death.
Yeah, I love Wynn. Good guy. Salt of the earth.
Love Wynn.
Love all our camera guys.
Terry, that camera guy. Logan Hare, one of my previous athletes. Tim's son is over there tonight, I'm sure. Krista Lambert, Jerry Chalmers on the call. What a fun group. I would like at some point in time to do a big broadcast with everybody. I think that would be
a blast.
Really, really cool.
That would be a blast. It really would. We would have some stories to tell and bring back good old Dave Kaplan.
And
boy, we'd have some stories to tell. Dave and I called a game down at it was I believe it was Triton. And we had an absolute blast.
Have you ever gotten to call a game with me and Rob Patterson?
I've never gotten to call a game with you, period. And this has been a privilege.
Is this
you and
to
I?
be sure, this isn't the first time.
I normally do Spencer with Spencer.
Okay.
I've called a game with DeLambert and Dave Kaplan, but never you and Spencer and Jerry. I've called games with Jerry.
Right.
So it's been a privilege. I've had a good time.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah,
truly my pleasure.
It's all mine. I've had a great time. And the UP band giving us a performance out here on the track.
Love the trombones.
Yep, love the nice purple color. You wonder why they go with certain themes every so often, but tonight's theme is purple. I like it.
How many times do you think one of those young men or women have whacked the other person in the face?
Hey, cameraman, let's show the band, man. Let's see if we can get a picture of that band and see what we're talking about. Isn't that nice?
Number 23 on the carry for Union Pines getting whopped there.
It's okay, Brandon. I mean, the band, look at him. That's very, I love that.
Talented.
Very talented.
4:39 left to go.
I bet those kids
ticking.
really like sticking their rear ends out to the fans. They probably enjoy that.
I'm sure their dads don't.
Their moms probably don't. Nate, tell me what your mom would do if you were playing football and they had to cart you off the field. What would she do?
Oh, ball's out. She would be concerned.
You told me earlier pregame that she would sit in the stands and be on her phone and not really be too
concerned. Well, I played in the day before phones, young man. So let's not
before Alexander Graham Bell.
Okay, before portable phones.
Oh, okay.
You still had to pay per text message.
So she would be concerned.
she would be concerned. She was not the get up and scream to make sure I was okay. Yeah. She was
get off my son.
She was more of the that looked like that hurt. I better make sure he has a good meal when we go home.
When did you start playing football, Nate?
So my longevity story, I started at 4 years old in Alabama because I actually started my life in northern Alabama.
Wow.
And played in Alabama until we moved up to North Carolina. And I actually quit playing once we moved up here until high school because I was too big to play Pop Warner. And so back in those days, Pop Warner had a weight restriction, and I was too heavy to play, and there were no other football leagues locally, which explaining to my dad that your son either needs to lose 30 pounds or he doesn't get to play football seemed kind of idiotic from a man who, grew up in Alabama football.
Yeah.
So
I understand that, being a wide receiver in your day. I understand that.
Yeah. So I ended up giving it up and not playing again until high school. Actually, when Southern Lee opened, is when I got back into playing football.
2009.
Not even close. 2005.
That's close.
You were within 4 years.
Yeah. Well,
I graduated in 2008.
Actually, 2000. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was part of the second graduating class. So we were actually there when that program cranked up under head coach Brian Lee, who was the most tenured football coach there until Don Simon, who beat him by a year.
Is that right?
That is.
I didn't know Don was the second football coach at Southern Lee's history.
No, he wasn't the second football coach.
Oh,
it's just the longest.
Tenure-wise, gotcha.
Yeah, just the longest.
Gotcha.
There were quite a few in between.
That's what I thought.
After Brian Lee, there was Bill Matsko, and he only made it a year. And then there were some other guys that I don't really even know who they were. And then there was Don, and then Ken, and then Mike McClure, and now Fred Blanks.
Yeah, and Fred's doing a great job.
And I tell you, I think I don't have this statistic in front of me, so this is completely me talking out of my rear end. But I do believe this is the best start Southern Lee's ever had.
Well,
I do not remember a time that we ever started 3-1.
I will tell you this, maybe during Don's tenure, perhaps. But I will say this: 2017 rings a bell. Whenever they had Ishwa Times, that was a good year. They won the brick. That was the last time they won the brick, I think.
That was the last time they won the brick. Correct.
But I will say that the Southern Lee at 3-1, they have tripled the amount of wins they had all of last season.
That's huge. That is huge for a program that for a long time the community was calling to end. You know, that was one of those things that a lot of people, you know, it was kind of
kids were going to get hurt.
Because kids were going to get hurt.
Yep.
And I remember having more than one school board member call me and ask what my opinion was on it. And I said, if you shut down this football program, you're doing a true disservice to every student who goes to school here.
And this year is proof in the pudding that if you have the right people around those young men, you can have a good football squad.
Right, absolutely. You can. There's enough athletes over there.
Oh, and Coach Blanks, I've talked to Coach Blanks, and you know, he's the kind of guy that really enjoys working with those young men and instilling a little bit of class and integrity in their game, and it shows. Now, last week they had a lot of silly penalties, but so that doesn't show a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline. Thank you. But tonight they come back and they regroup and they just put the nail in the coffin of Fairmont and just completely destroy them. So they enter next week into conference play, and Southern Lee next week in conference play will be at Richmond. Now Richmond is really struggling. Used to be a powerhouse back in the day. What do you know about Richmond? Why do you think they're struggling so bad?
They started having a lot of turmoil within their coaching staff last year, and it really boiled in the offseason going into this year. It's my understanding if they don't have a whole new coaching staff, they're pretty close. And that is a community where uncertainty in their football program does not go over well. And so a lot of those top athletes found ways into different programs due to the different uncertainties and whatnot of your program, which I get. I mean, if you're a stud player, put yourself in a good situation to be looked at.
Yeah.
Third and 8 here for the Vikings. Number 22 on the carry. Oh, I like that young man. Number 22 for the Vikings, Holden Thomas. Senior. I liked him running the ball last year.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought he graduated. I liked him running the ball last year.
No, he's a senior this year, but he's small. He's only 5'4".
He's small.
He's about the height of Tim Hare.
Well, yeah, these things happen.
5'4".
I remember when I was in third grade.
Yeah.
All right, Union Pine's got a fresh set of downs here.
There he is again, Holden Thomas.
Hand off to Holden Thomas.
And he's wearing number 22. Who else wore number 22? Big time. I mentioned his name earlier in the first quarter.
Dion?
No 22. I mentioned his name earlier in the first quarter.
I don't know.
A running back. Played for Dallas. Yeah.
Emmitt Smith?
Yep, Emmitt Smith.
All right, but that TCU-Colorado game?
Oh, yeah, seriously.
The clear-cut game of the week.
Oh, no question about it.
Man alive.
That and Deion's son at quarterback, he's the real deal.
That kid who played both ways, oh, my goodness. Now, you can't do that all the way into December, but
I don't know, man. He looked like if there's anybody on the planet Earth, he looked like he would be the kid to do it, and he still had gas even at the end of the game.
I'm not 100% on the Deion and Colorado train, but I will say, I mean, I'm not going to say they're gonna sweep the conference and go win a natty. I'm not saying anything like that. But I think we'll see Colorado in a bowl game this year.
Oh, no doubt. I will say this. I'm having a hard time figuring out who to cheer for this week at Colorado, Nebraska, because I am not a Matt Rule fan. I can tell you.
I can tell you exactly who I'm rooting for.
Hopefully it's Colorado.
It is Colorado. I didn't like Matt Rule when he got hired, and I don't like him now.
Same. What a clown. But anyway.
Usually I'm the one that's going to get complaints. not this week.
He's a clown, man. God, what a clown. Anyway, I picked up on Coach Prime, and I really enjoyed a lot of the pregame stuff last week against TCU, and I loved his interviews, and I loved some things. But I'm starting to get a little bit intercepted. Was he out of bounds?
Intercepted by number 14.
Incomplete. Oh, no.
No, he was inbounds.
Yeah. Look.
And it's a touchback.
I'm a little bit primed out hearing all his antics over the week. I don't know. He seems. I'm a little bit tired of him playing the everybody's out and against us and don't believe, and if you're not with us, you're against us and all that. I don't know. I think his mouth is going to catch up to him a little bit. But you cannot dispute his success every flipping where he's been, even as a player, from collegiate to NFL and coaching.
You know, winning solves a lot of problems. And as long as he keeps doing that, I don't think odds.
Oh, there's no question. He can do whatever he wants.
You know, it is kind of funny, though. They're talking about his quarterback, and he was making a big deal about, you know, where he was coming from and all that. You know, people kind of forget that was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. That kid had legit SEC offers. He chose to go to Jackson State with Prime.
No doubt.
And now he chose to go to Colorado with Prime, which I'm not saying was a wrong decision.
It's just the facts.
I get 100, but the facts was that kid was an SEC kid.
It's a fact. And let me tell you a secret, too, on that. This year, Colorado, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're starting literally a brand new roster on both sides of the ball. There may be 1 or 2 starters that are playing and starting that were there last year, but it's I can count them on one hand.
Right.
He has completely revamped the entire roster.
I love it. I'm into it. This is the end of the ball game here. We got 5 seconds left. We're getting ready. We're going to count this down to double zeros here. Not the night Union Pines was looking for. Randleman Tigers 47, Union Pines 6. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear from our sponsors. Let the coaches get past us as they come down the ladder. And then we will have our post-game show brought to you by Everything Pines.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit pinehursttoyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit pinehursttoyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
First Bank presents the post-game show on the NFHS Network. Brought to you by New Image Media.
Welcome back to the First Bank post-game show. I'm Nathan Cochrane. This is Mr. Box, Don Clayton. Rocking and rolling. We're here.
Inside joke.
We're here at Union Pines.
Hurry up, man. We got to tear it down.
We're putting a bow on this. Union Pines, not a whole lot went right tonight for the Vikings. Randleman, this is a really good 2A Randleman team. Really excited to see what they do as the season progresses. Union Pines got Lee County next week. Lee County, last we checked, was down. Lee County and it's going to start 2-2. Union Pines going to be 1-3 next week. We talked earlier about key to the game. For me, it's real simple. Stop B.J. Brown. B.J. Brown, you beat Lee County.
No doubt. So both teams are going to start conference play next week. Randleman will be at Ashboro, and as Nate here said, Union Pines will be at Lee County. So based on that, it's going to be very interesting. I will say this. I did find out who that player is that also marches with the marching band. Very impressive. Sincere Margargo is his name. I believe he's a senior. But he also – I've never seen that. I've never seen a player that plays football but also goes at halftime and marches with the marching band. Have you seen that?
No. Shout out to that young man, though. We're going to put a ball on this. You've heard us ramble on for the last hour and a half.
And we got coaches that want to get out of here.
We've got coaches who are ready to
wave at us. Say, what's up? See.
All right. Y'all have a great time. We're going to see you next week. Union Pines, Lee County, really looking forward to it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to our whole team. Without all of them, Don and I could not get up here and ramble about Coach Prime. Thank you all. Have a good week. Stay safe.